Alright, hello again there folks. Welcome to another Friday streaming session. Today we're just going to hop right into our featured game. That's because I don't have as much time for today. Liz and I actually have a commitment that we're heading to in the afternoon, so we're just going to stream for maybe 2 to 2.5 hours today. We'll see how far we get. And since we finished our Civ 3 game last time, we're going to start a new game today. Although new is kind of the operative word here, given that this is another old game, a game that actually predates Civ 3. This is the original Master of Orion, which came out in 1994, created by Simtech Software, another Microprose game. It is a game I have written about frequently on my website. I have streamed it a number of times before. I haven't streamed it in a few years though, so let's dive in. It's one of my favorite games to play, and I haven't played it in a while, so I'm always happy to show some of the gameplay for this one. I tried to queue it up so you could watch. Those of you who are watching this probably on the recording can see the little intro video here. These were good graphics in 1994, trust me. This is a fresh install, by the way. This is being run on our desktop computer, which I haven't played Master of Orion on before, so I had to install it. Fortunately, this whole game is like 2 megabytes in size. Yep, the entire game is like 2 megabytes. You had to have, I think, 386 kilobytes of RAM to play this. But anyway, it's an old game, and it's a good one. All right, so let's go ahead and do our settings. There are 4 different settings for galaxies in Master of Orion. Small is 24 stars, medium is 48, large is 72, and huge is 96. I never play huge games. I think I've literally never played a huge game because it just turns the whole game into a fest of micromanagement. I tend to play small and medium maps. I almost never play large maps, although I have played a few. We're going to do this on medium, which is the standard, kind of the standard galaxy size, 48 stars. There are 5 difficulty levels: simple, easy, average, hard, and impossible. This game will be played on impossible because the other difficulties aren't really very hard. And then you also can pick the number of opponents. Master of Orion plays very strangely if you go down to 1 or 2 opponents. The suggested is to have 5, so we'll go with 5. Then we get to pick our race. As you can probably see from the title, we're going to be playing the Bulrathi this game, who are giant space bears. At some point I may want to consider increasing the cycles at which the game play. On DOSBox you can set how fast the CPU runs. By the way, I'm glad to see those of you in the chat are like, oh, we're excited to see Master of Orion. Yeah, it's a little, not that often that you'll see people like, oh yes, a game from 1993. But this is such a classic game. It really holds up. None of the sequels to Master of Orion have ever been as good as the original. A lot of people like the sequel, Master of Orion 2, but it's not as good, although it's a solid game in its own right. And the remake that came out in 2016 is actually a decent game, but it's not as good as the original, because this is really a classic game. Anyway, so there's 10 races in Master of Orion. I've written about all of these at different points in time. Humans, somewhat bizarrely, are really good at diplomacy. I don't think that accurately models humans in real life, but that's what they are in this game. Mercian, the worst race in the game. I have played them on live stream before. They get combat bonuses. Silicoid's the game's most unique race. I've done a full game on them on live stream. Can settle any environment. Very unusual race. Grow super slowly. Sakra, vast population growth, poor diplomacy. Cylons, the game's strongest race, great at researching, overpowered race. Alkari, combat advantages again, not as bad as the Mercians, but not great. Klakons, second most powerful game race in the game, incredible production, fastest growth curve of anyone in the game, don't have great diplomacy though. Meklar can build more factories than the other races. A slow race, they take a long time to max out, but they're arguably the strongest race once maxed out. Poor planetology research really hurts them. Darloks, awesome at espionage, but everybody hates them. They're a supremely well-designed race. They're actually one of the weaker races in the game because everyone hates them. Espionage, super powerful, but the trade-off is you will be at war always with everyone. And then here's our race, the Bulrathi. They are not one of the game's better races. They're below average. They're probably, I think they're like 7th best out of the 10, roughly around there. Their advantage is they get a bonus to ground combat. They are very, very good when it comes to invading planets. They're also good at defending their planets, but if you're playing the game correctly, you almost never have to defend your planets. If the AI has gotten soldiers down to your planets, something is very wrong. They also are good at planetology research, which is nice. Good at construction, good at planetology, but their crippling weakness is they are poor at computers research. They have the worst spies in the game, and that is bad. So we can pick different colors. I have certain colors I always play each race as. I always play the Bulrathi as red, and then if we want to, we can name our leader. But Krungo is a pretty good name, so let's go with Krungo, and then we can rename our home world. I do want to open this up to the chat. If you have a suggestion for the name for the home world, there's all kinds of awesome puns you can use here for the Space Bears. So I want to give you guys like 30 seconds to see if you have like a punny name or something you want to do here. There's always that delay on Twitch. Your leader name almost never appears in this game, by the way. It's really the planets, and you only get one chance to name your planet. You cannot rename your planets once the game once you click past the screen, you can never rename your home world. Just like the only time you can pick a name for a star being colonized is on the actual colonization screen. Ursa is a fine enough pun for me. Oh, our creativity is failing us here. Forbearance. There we go. Trenlo to the rescue. Alright, looks like we can't quite get the last letter, but that's close enough. Forbearance. That's a good one. I didn't pick creative trait. Forbear. Oh, we should have gone with forbear. That's okay. Here we go. Also, just so you guys can see this, let me just put this on the screen temporarily. So just so you can see what the window looks like where I'm playing. So it looks all nice on the stream, but this game runs on a tiny window. Let me see if I can show this. Come here. So this is what my desktop actually looks like right now. This game runs, I believe, on like a I think it's like 640 by 400 window, something like that. It is, yeah, this is what the game actually looks like. Now, you can play it in full screen, but if I play it in full screen, then I can't put the chat right next to it. So it's easiest for me just to play in windowed mode. But I just wanted to give you a chance to see what this actually looks like. Okay, let's go back to the nice looking view. It is an old game. All right, so some basics for Master of Orion. First thing you always do when you open up the game is see where you are on the map. Okay, we're in the northeast corner. Who have we drawn? So we've drawn Mercians. That's probably good. We've drawn Silicoids. That's annoying. No Cylons, though. It's a no Cylons game. Silicoids will try to steal out the hostile maps. Yeah, a lot of yellow stars. Not Spambot's right. Lots of yellow stars. So AI races can only spawn at yellow stars. You will always start at a yellow star. So look how many yellow stars are on this map. Sometimes on a medium map, there'll only be like 5 or 6 yellow stars. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, counting ours. 15, wow, a third of the stars in the galaxy are yellow stars. Humans are generally easy to get along with. Klakons are not nearly as good in the hands of the AI as they are in the hands of the humans. And Mechlars, they are always a threat. They will likely have few planets, but they will also likely be very strong on those planets. That's a good suggestion, Zythan. I could play on a larger scale filter. I'll think about that for the next session. So Trenlo, I have taken Orion before. We had a Realms Beyond scenario where we needed to capture it. So this is 7 parsecs. AIs they can't spawn within 7 parsecs. So it is possible that there's an AI at that star. With this many yellow stars, it's somewhat unlikely though that there's an AI there. This is 6 parsecs, so there can't be an AI here. Hope that no one spawned in the corner. There's no true corner start. This wouldn't be that bad, honestly, because there's probably an AI over here. So I doubt anyone... the map does not shape up for any true runaway, but with all these stars here, there's probably at least 1 AI and possibly 2 AIs here. Hopefully there's no one right there. That would be a little bit close. But it looks like these stars over here are the ones we need to scout out first. So basics for Master of Orion. I know a number of you have seen this game before, but I'm going to assume anyone watching has not played this game before. So basics, you run the game through planets. Planets are your cities. Each star is a chance to create a colony base there. At the start of the game, they start out blank. You don't know what's on them. You are limited by range concerns in the early game. Your ships can only travel to stars that are within 3 parsecs of a colony. That said, you can build scouts that get an extra 3 parsecs. They can travel up to 6 parsecs away in the early game. You need to research more range tech in order to reach ones further away. Significance of the colors on planets. So these are stars, technically. We don't know if there's a planet here. Basically, the different stars are more likely to have different planet types. The yellows are most likely to have good planets, then followed by reds, then greens, then blues, and then whites, and then last purple. There's no purple stars on this map. As the stars go down in quality, they are more likely to have smaller planets, and they're more likely to be hostile planets, which means you can't settle them at the start of the game. But they're also more likely to be mineral rich. So there's often a case where you'll have planets that are hostile environment, you can't settle them at the beginning of the game, but then they're mineral rich planets, which double productivity. Conversely, very large planets are somewhat more likely to be poor or ultra poor, which have slashed production. There's different habitability classes for the planets. The ones that are in red, you cannot settle at the start of the game. You need to research more tech. It's one of the brilliant innovations of Master of Orion that at the start of the game, you can't colonize all the planets and you have to get more tech as the game goes on. Yeah, if you can secure the 2 yellow stars right. So the goal would be like to get the planets in this corridor here. That's like the early game goal. Again, how many AIs are in this belt of yellow stars will affect that. We shall end up seeing. If we can get about 8 planets, we'll be in good shape. If we get fewer than that, then the game gets harder. Anyway, welcome, those of you who are just getting here. Okay, so basics about how the screen works. So this is the screen where basically everything happens. This is your planetary screen. You can look at the planet itself by clicking here. These were good graphics in 1993 when this game was developed. Size, factories. Factories are your production. At the beginning of the game, each population point can work 2 factories. So at max, this planet could have 100 population and 200 factories at the start of the game. But we only start with 40 population at the beginning of the game, and we only start with 30 factories. New planets don't start with any factories. In the early turns, generally you spend a lot of turns building factories because that increases production on your planets, and production is what does everything. You can spend every planet will spend all of its production each turn. If you look here, so the way that production works, just to give you the quick formula, it is each factory produces 1 point of production, and every population produces a half point of production. So 30 factories is 30 production, half a point of production for each population point. That's 40 over 2 is 20, so 30 plus 20 is 50. And if you want to see, we do indeed get 50 production, or 51. I guess it rounds up or something. We get 51 at the start of the game. Now, we only effectively get 38 production, and that's because we have to spend money for our ships. At the beginning of the game, that colony ship actually costs us a lot. So we're paying about a quarter of our income each turn to maintain those ships at the start of the game. That will go down immediately once the colony ship settles. So then you spend that production each turn. So right now, every turn we will spend 38 production. We can spend that in a number of different ways. We can spend it on ships. We can build more ships. We can spend it on defense. These are defensive bases. We don't want to build them early in the game. We can build more factories, which is what we're going to be doing a lot at the beginning of the game. We can build 2 more factories each turn right now. Or we can spend it on research. This is how you do research. You spend your production on tech. So unlike in Civilization, where production and science are 2 separate things, in Master of Orion, they are the same thing. You can spend your income on production, on building ships, or you can spend it on tech, but you can't do both at the same time. Production and research are essentially the same thing. Or now you also notice that I have to spend this money on econ. That is because the factories produce pollution, and I have to spend a fair amount of my income each turn cleaning up that pollution. You can allow your pollution to build up, but it's basically almost never worthy to do this. So that's why I am running this ecology on clean. Waste cleanup techs are one of the most important things you can get at the beginning of the game. What do we name our bear leader? We just went with the default bear leader name, which was Krungo for this game. So here at the beginning of the game, what I want to do is I want to get more information about the immediate starting neighborhood. I want to send my scouts to the planets that are most likely to be at risk. I start with 2 scouts. I'm about to build more. These planets here are the ones that are most likely to be at risk. So that is where I will send my initial scouts. And I also want to see where I want to send the colony ship. So how many stars are within 3 parsecs? There are 3 stars within 3 parsecs. So here's the difficult decision to make. These stars would be better to colonize because they push towards the galactic center, but they're both blue stars, so they are very likely to have non-habitable planets. So I think the decision to make right now is to send the colony ship to the green star. It is much more likely to have a planet I can actually use, even though it's going in the wrong direction. And let's send our scouts to these stars, and then that way we'll get a scouting report. And depending on what we find, I could always decide to move to one of these other stars. Can I name a planet Licky We could. Yeah, the name is almost never used, actually. You almost never see your leader's name. We can name a planet Licky since you're the first one. So there's not much else to do on this starting turn. We're going to spend our income on factories for the time being. The key thing is that each factory doesn't operate on its own. You need population to work factories. And so right now, each population point can work up to 2 factories. So we could have up to 80 factories right now with our 40 population. Any factories beyond 2 times population do not get used at the start of the game. So colony ships are expensive to build at the beginning of the game. We could try building a colony ship. The problem is it would not be cheap to build. It would take 27 turns right now. So that's not really viable right out of the start of the game. You generally want to build up factories until you can build colony ships in at least about 5 or 6 turns is when they become viable. It's not really worthwhile if it's going to take like 10 turns to build a colony ship. So the next 2 turns are going to go by quickly because we're just waiting on scout reports. All right, so first turn goes by. We build 2 factories. We also grew. Population grows each turn. The closer you are to 50% population, the faster the population grows. So when you're between about 1/3 and 2/3 max population, your pop grows the fastest. It'll probably grow at about +2 pop each turn while we're here in like the middle part of the, it's a normal distribution. It's a bell curve. While we're in the middle portion of the bell curve, we'll probably get either +2 or +3 pop each turn. And we also built the 2 factories. So note that our income went up to 54 as opposed to 41, as opposed to last turn. So we went up from 38 production to 41. So next turn again waiting for the scouts to fan out. We grow 3 population this turn. That's nice. Built another 2 factories. The game does keep track of fractional production. It will keep track of 1/10 of a factory as the game goes on. Do I like playing the Sullites? I enjoy playing all the races. They all have unique functions. Oh, we got an artifacts planet. This is perfect. So this was the right decision on where to send the colony ship. I haven't even seen the scouting reports on the other 2 yet. Artifacts is a special thing. All research points are doubled on artifacts worlds. This is really good, and we will also pull a free tech. So keep your fingers crossed here that we get something good. Basically anything is good, but planetology would be the best to pull here. The only bad thing you can pull here is improved robotics 3 would be a disastrous to pick up right now because it would increase factory costs by 50%. So this is like getting a goodie hut, but this is actually really rare. Artifacts planets are very uncommon. There's maybe 1 or 2 artifacts planets in the whole galaxy. All right, what do we pull here? Streamer luck, yeah. Hi, Eurus. So here's the graphic of landing the colony ship. And Licky asked to name this planet. I will go with the first request in the chat. So we will have our artifacts world of Licky. This is, again, I mentioned this before, this is the only chance to rename a planet is here. Once you settle it, you can't rename it after that. So we get our little ship lands and we plant our flag on the world, and now we've got a new colony. So what tech did we find? This is really, could be quite important what we get here. There's no way an AI has scouted this planet before. Oh, that's bad luck. No planet at all there. That's not good. And the other one is an Inferno world. Okay, so see, it was the right decision to go here. Both of these planets, not surprisingly, they're blue stars. They do not have... this one does not have a planet at all. We'll never be able to settle here. And this one has an Inferno planet. Hostile, only size 20. Oh, that's a good one to pull. Planetology and terraforming +10. Not as good as improved eco. It's also a low tech level. This is only tech level 2. So it could have been worse, but that's a good one to pull, though. Terraforming +10 is always nice. No, it's too early to try to terraform. So this will allow us to increase the size of forbearance. It can now, so you can increase the size of your planets over time. We'll be able to increase it from size 100 to size 110. So that wasn't, it was definitely was not the best we could pull, but it was a good, it was good overall. All right, so now we need to go into our ships. So you design your own ships in Master of Orion, one of the cooler things about the game. For whatever reason, the ships that start out are slightly more expensive than designing the exact same ship yourself. We believe this is because the ships are designed at tech level of 0 instead of tech level 1. So we want to scrap all the AI's designs. Scrap, scrap, scrap. And I will demonstrate how designing literally the exact same ship is cheaper. So here's this basic Scout design. This will be our Scout 2. Build that. And if you want to look at the fleet specs here, so the default scout, which we start with, costs 10 BC, but the exact same scout costs 8 BC if you redesign it. I do not have the unofficial patch. That's because I just downloaded this today. So this is not being played with Kyrub's patch. Like I said, because I just downloaded this today. And the colony ship is 591, but if we scrap this and redesign it, well, it would be 570. It'll be slightly cheaper because we pulled that tech. Normally it would be 570. So let's design the same colony ship. Got to go up to a large hull, take off the reserve fuel tanks, and instead put on the colony base. 546. That's nice. So pulling that tech decreased the cost of the colony ship from 570 to 546. That's nice. We cut about 5% off the cost of the colony ship by doing that. All right. So if we wanted to build the and the other thing is, note that we were spending like a quarter of our income maintaining that colony ship. We now don't have to do that anymore. So now we can spend all of our income each turn. And the colony ship would cost 15 years. That's still way too expensive to build, but that's a lot better than 27 turns that we were seeing before. So you might say, can you dial back the terraforming slider? But watch, if I dial it down, oh, I guess that's right. I can dial it down because I was paying maintenance on that ship. So you were right to suggest pulling it back. Okay, so we need to design scouts. We want to scout out the rest of we want to get more scout information. Also, one of the key things of this game is if your unarmed scout meets an AI's unarmed scout, they will always retreat. One of the nice things that works in the player's favor in this game, one of the few things that does. Need to see how many planets are out there that we can actually reach with scouts. So this one's out of range, unfortunately. That means all of these will surely be out of range. Yeah. So we need 1, 2 for those planets there. 3. This will be out of range, isn't it? Yep, just barely though. That's out of range too. 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8 for those 2 planets. Okay. All right, so we need to build, it looks like, about 8 scouts. I'm going to also dispatch my scouts here further forward. Actually, that's not really going to... okay, so you go there. I'll send one of the ones that come out of forbearance to the empty planet. I also don't really have to hold the empty world. You go there, and then the scouts can fan out next turn. So for this turn, we're going to build scouts, and I also want to transfer some population over to Licky because it will take forever to get started if it has no population that comes. If it has no population coming from the homeworld, it'll take forever. 7 planets. Yeah. I think that's right. So we'll build 5 this turn, and let's start sending some population over to Licky. I typically will send in like 3 million batches. I will probably send 4 batches of 3 million to get it up to 12, and then that'll be yeah, because that will get it up to about 15 pop, and then it'll be good to go. So I'll probably do that 4 times. Feed me bears. All right. So we build 5 scouts. And let's fan these scouts out. All right, so I'm going to send them one at a time. So we need to send 1 here back to the planet that we vacated, just to make sure. It's an empty planet, so it's not that valuable, but I'd still prefer to keep the AI from scouting it if I can. 1 back here to the planet we just vacated there. All right, now I've got 3 more. Is this in range? Yes, there. And then 1 here, and then 1 in that corner. And then we don't have 1 for either of the core planets, but that's okay. I can always get those later. I'd rather invest in factory building for the moment. Note that we're already up to 4 factories per turn, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, that artifacts plan will effectively be size 80. And it's really nice having artifacts at your second world because the second planet often carries the research load in the early game because the home world is like building colony ships and you want to have research taking place somewhere. So it's not uncommon to have the second planet doing that. So right now Licky is working on its factories. Note that basically nothing happens because we have 2 population and 0 factories. So right now our production is like a tenth of We're getting like 1 production per turn, so needless to say, nothing's really happening. I should start bumping into... It depends on where the AIs are, right? I should start bumping into them pretty quickly because there's basically guaranteed to be some of them here on this belt of yellow stars. We'll see. It depends on where they started. So watch, the scouts will be fanning out now. Always looks kind of cool to see them all fanning out in the early game. So we still haven't gotten any... none of the transports have arrived here yet, but they will shortly. All right, so that'll be 9. And note that as we send people off world, we actually have to increase the ecology spending. We should start getting scout reports now as the scouts start reaching planets. Look at this. You asked how long it would take to run into the AIs. We've already run into one. Hopefully we got here the same turn and they weren't able to scout the planet. So that's an unarmed scout. It'll retreat. 2 scouts. Klakons and humans. Like I said, hopefully they didn't get a chance to scout this world. But there's a decent chance they did. Alright, so there's an arid planet up there. That's colonizable. Dead hostile. Okay, dead planet, so can't settle there immediately. But Klakons and humans again, so some of them are... They are likely in this belt of yellows right here. So far, so none of these worlds right here are habitable. This arid world's going to be a huge priority. I don't believe that it's... How far away is it? 4 parsecs. Okay, so we only need range 4 to get there. So we will want to research range 4, almost certainly. If we have a choice between range 4 and range 5, I don't think we need range 5 to spread out. It depends on what's here, because this planet's 5 parsecs. We do have a scout headed there, don't we? Yeah. All right. So Licky has gotten its first population transfer. Note that it also grew a pop point itself. So now that it has 6 pop, it'll at least get 3 production per turn, although it is losing a point of production to maintenance. So it should be finishing its first factory. And like I said, I want to transfer... Let's see, so there's 2 more. So this would get it to 12. Let's send 1 more, because that'll get it to 15. And at 15, it'll be able to like start growing itself. It's the last one I want to send. Okay. Yep, you can... So as the game goes on, you will get tech that will allow you to settle planets. So every planet has a habitability class. You can settle half of them at the start of the game, and as you get more tech, you can settle the more hostile planets, except none. If there's no planet, you can never settle there. Barren, Tundra, Dead, Inferno, Toxic, Radiated are the habitability classes. Okay, so we didn't scout any new planets this turn. Even if the AI scouted this world, the fact that it's dead means that they can't land there immediately. I mean, the silicoids can, but no one else can. All right, so at this point, Forbearance will just start building it up on its own. It's up to 50 factories, which means it'll be building them faster. Licky's up to 10 pop. If you have dead tech, you can colonize Tundra, correct. This is currently at 3,000 cycles right now. Control F12, is that right? All right, we'll increase the cycles a little bit. Thank you for the suggestion. It is running a little bit slowly. I don't like to set the cycles too fast though, because then you can miss stuff. All right, another hostile world. Boy, we're gonna need at least controlled Tundra, if not controlled Dead. A lot of hostile worlds in this neighborhood. So far, we've scouted 6 planets, and 4 of the 6 have been hostile. That's not the most friendly neighborhood. A little bit unlucky here in terms of what we've been getting for neighboring planets. All right, Licky should have finished its first factory by now. Nope, I guess it'll finish its first factory at end of turn. Oh, geez. Oh. So apparently we're just going to offset quantity with quality in this game. A size 100 artifacts planet in the back lines. Holy cow. So we don't have a lot of planets, but the ones we have are apparently tremendous. Size 100 artifacts. Oh my god. This is among the best planets I've ever seen. Like, seriously, one of the best I've ever seen. And it's in the back line, so it should be pretty safe. Unfortunately, we pull a weapons tech. That's not a good pull because it doesn't help us economically. Planetology and construction would have probably been among the best. Propulsion would have been really good. A range tech would have been amazing, or a better engine tech. Hyper-V, not terribly useful, but hey, free tech is a free tech. So how far away is this planet? 4. Okay, so we only need range 4. Does not appear as though we need range 5. Well, we do need range 5 to get here. Let's see what's at this yellow star. Because colonizing this yellow star would then open up these worlds, so let's see. If this is a good planet, then maybe we really do need range 5. Of course, we might not have either. Your tech tree is not fixed in this game. It's a variable tech tree. So you do not always have the same techs in it. Jungles. Okay, that's a good planet too. What an odd neighborhood this is. So some great planets like at kind of like the outskirts of territory, but nothing immediately. Like all the close planets are pretty crummy. We need at least range 4 to expand. Fortunately, we have an artifacts world, so that's going to help us with that. Licky, let's see, what is it? Yeah, so it's finished. It's up to 21 pop. It's already hitting the fat part of the growth curve, so that'll grow quickly. Now here the question is, do we want to terraform the planet? And we probably do, just because it'll increase the overall pop size of the world. That said, investing a turn this early, let's let it grow a little bit more. So right now there's not a lot to do for a few turns. We want to continue pushing factories right now. I don't want to start research just yet. I want to let the planet build up a little bit first. So what turn is it right now? The only place you can see the turn is here. So 10 turns into the game thus far. Hey Myth, welcome. So we want to just push factories for about 5 turns or so. Note that we're up to 7 factories per turn, 7.5 per turn. So colony ship would be down to 7. How many, what are we looking at? 92. All right, so as we get closer to halfway status. All right, so we chased off the Clacons again. There's no habitable planet here, but it's still better to, actually there's no planet there at all. This is the one that has no planets, but still better to chase them off. Yeah, the AI gets major cheats on this difficulty. Like very significant ones. No, there's no point in building a colony ship. I was just checking how long it would take. So I think I'm at the point where I'm getting out of the fat part of the growth curve. So I do want to increase the size of the planet right now. So it costs 50 production to terraform. So this right here. So that'll get the planet to size 110. So we'll build 3 factories in terraform. This is something that normally doesn't happen in the early game. It's just because I pulled that free tech. So now the pop is 110 max, which means it will be in the fat part of the growth curve for longer. All right, there we go. Let's see. So how many research points can Licky produce right now is kind of the question. 40. Okay, so I think it's time to open up tech, and I'll have Licky do. Licky would also like to terraform, but it's a little bit too weak to do it right now. So yeah, I think I'm going to open up tech right now. So the way I want to do this is I want to seed the tech fields with a lot of research on the first turn. It's kind of the way that the model works here. Yeah, if planets get polluted, it reduces max population until cleaned up. All right, so let's open up the research screen for the first time. So research takes place in 6 fields: Mash of Orion, computers, construction, force field, planetology, propulsion, weapons. Right now, we're really interested in propulsion, but I'm also going to open up planetology as well because I want to see what I want to see if improved eco restoration is available. I'll actually get to see the first 2 tiers of research because I already have a tech in that field. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's split it evenly between the 2 fields. I will not open the other fields yet because I don't really need them. Like, I don't need computers until I meet the other AIs. I don't need first fields or weapons until I meet the other AIs. Like, fully, not just see their scouts. So we'll do this. We'll split the research evenly in the 2 fields. Let's see what we get here. All right. Oh, we do have improved eco. Okay, so we do want improved eco. Also, I thought that the Bulrathi were good in, I thought they were good in planetology research. They are apparently not, because this is the default cost. And we also have controlled tundra. That's a big deal as well, because that'll open up the path to that planet that's in the southeast. We have to go through a tundra world to get there, but tundra will open that up. So we probably only need range 4. All right, this is nice. We have a choice between range 4 and range 5. So the question would be, well, hey, if you can go 4 parsecs or 5 parsecs, why not just research range 5? Well, the answer is range 4 is about a third of the cost of range 5. So I think we can get by with just range 4 in this game. I think that'll open up a lot of extra planets. So let's go ahead and grab that. All right. So now we are not going to, we're going to have Licky. We don't have those little light bulbs that are in Kairob's patch that tells you if you're getting full interest or not on the research screen. So note that planetology is more expensive. We actually haven't made a lot of progress yet, but propulsion is cheap. We've actually made quite a bit of progress there already. So we're going to have forbearance continue building factories, continue getting stronger, and Licky will research. So again, this is very common in the early game. Your second planet is doing some researching, and Licky will just stack up population as we push towards this. The other thing I do want to do is I want to squeeze out a couple more scouts, because as soon as this research finishes, like that planet will be in range, that planet will be in range. So we want 2 scouts for over there. And this planet will be in range as well. Any of these over here? No. So I do want to squeeze out a couple scouts. Let's just build 1 per turn. And I'm going to send 1 here. And I'm going to send 2 scouts over here, probably in anticipation of being able to move on to those worlds as soon as we finish researching range. Oh, someone's up to 6 planets. Yeah, the AI cheats a lot on Impossible. So the silicoids already have 6 planets. So depending on where the silicoids are, we have not run into their scouts. They're probably down here. There's a decent chance they're here or here. That's not surprising. It's a little early to get the 6 planet warning, a little bit earlier than I would ideally see. But the silicoids are one of the weakest AIs to get the, they're one of the better ones to have the, yeah, well, here's the answer. The AI cheats a lot on Impossible. It's a hard difficulty. I mean, no, it would not be possible for the human player to do that. But look at that. Would actually build 2 scout 2s. We don't need 2 of them though. All right, there we go. So now we can stop building scouts. I sent this one to that point. All right, so you're going to go here. So having the scouts ready to go ahead of time is pretty nice. Let's check in on forbearance. All right, so 84 pop, 129 factories. We're getting closer to 2 times production here. Right now we could work up to 170 factories, 168. And Licky is kicking in 52 research points per turn. That's really a lot for a second planet at this stage of the game. How are we doing on tech? Making the progress. Look, we're getting close on propulsion. We're not close yet on planetology, but that's fine. We'll keep trickling. Once we discover this tech, we're going to swap over to planetology, like pretty much all planetology once we get this, because improved eco restoration, it'll do 2 things. It'll cut our waste cleanup costs. It cuts the waste cleanup costs by basically in half. Right at the start of the game, you have to spend it's 2 credits. Well, the game's currency is BC, billion credits. It's 2 BC to clean up a point of waste. Improved eco makes it 3 BC to clean up a point of waste or whatever, but it's like it's a 50% improvement. It greatly cuts your cleanup costs. All right, so scouts are still fanning out. This is looking pretty good for an opening. So far, the AI has not come calling with colony ships to any of these worlds yet. All right, propulsion is about to hit the percentages. That's really good. We're still building factories here. Yep, 150 factories, looking good. Licky will probably want to send a few pop points back to forbearance to max. Oh no, never mind. I forgot. I'm like, oh, 89. It's about to hit max at 100. But no, the max is 110 because we have that terraforming. Forgot about that. And colony ships at this point are down to 5 years. we can get it down to 4 years, I'll probably just start building the colony ship. Not quite there yet. All right, so we're up to, so right now it's, note that it displays 5%. The actual rate of discovery is double what it shows on this screen. I don't know why. It appears to be just a bug in the game. So it's actually, we have 10% odds to discover that range tech between turns. And as people are saying in the chat, the Bulrathi, all worlds are effectively hostile for them. All right, now we're up to 22% odds to discover that tech. Still 5 years. Let's do one more turn of factories. And then we're probably ready to go, start building the colony ship, just in the anticipation of the colony ship, of the tech finishing. Yeah, so note how it's, so now it displays max. That does not mean that the world is maxed out on factories. It means it's maxed out on pop that can work the factories. So like right now, population's 95, so we can work up to 190 factories. So we've basically maxed out factories that can be worked on this planet. So it's a good time to switch over and start the colony ship. I will want to completely max out this world soon enough, but for now, I think I'm going to push the colony ship and we will send it here. Why do we send it here? Because this is a safe backline world. There's no need to colonize that. We can grab this. It's better to push into contested territory. And I'm going to need more scouts over here because as soon as I settle this, a whole bunch of planets are going to open up in terms of range. So I am going to need more scouts over there, aren't I? I should have planned for this. I should have squeezed out a couple more scouts. I should have been thinking about that. It says max. It doesn't say hacks. Looks like an H, I know. That's just the font that gets used in this game. But yeah, like this, a lot of these worlds are going to be in range as soon as I get over there. So Licky can probably squeeze out a couple scouts. Like I said, this is already in the percentages. Let's just have it squeeze out a scout, like one scout per turn. Cuts into the research, unfortunately. And we can relocate that over to here. It'll get a free turn's worth of movement by doing that. All right. So now we're up to 42% odds to discover that. Here comes that scout. Yeah, because I have 2 scouts here, but I actually need more. There we go. So range 4. Now we can move out. And it's probably better to research nuclear engines because that'll allow us to move at 2 parsecs per turn. It's probably good to focus on that as the next one. Also lets us keep moving up the tree. We actually have no options. That we have to research that to advance. But like I said, I'm more interested in shifting most of my focus. Just keep a trickle going into propulsion. More interested in discovering improved eco right now. All right, so scouts can move out. That's now in range. 2 scouts here. Let's see. This is 8 parsecs now. That will probably be out of range. We'll do this. This will be the last turn of running scouts out of Licky. And of course, these can now move forward. 5 turns. Actually, you can probably get there faster. Yeah, let's do that there. This does leave that planet uncovered for a couple turns, but I think it's all right. All right, there we go. Can we name the arid planet Udir? Well, let's see if we can get there first. And this is lining up well. Colony ship is only 2 turns away from finishing. So like I said, that works out pretty well. We'll send it there, and then we'll immediately send a colony ship here to Nyarl, because those are both in range now. This planet is not in range, but if we can get Tundra Tech, then this will be in range. So we're going to have to go and push for controlled Tundra afterwards. We'll also have to see what we discover up here. There might be more worlds available up here. So if we can get these 3, that would get us to 5, 6. We still need to get a little bit more. But we're getting closer to being viable here. Hi, Jack. Of course, we aren't guaranteed to land even the planets we've scouted thus far yet. All right, so you start moving towards here. You stop building ships for the moment. Yeah, so we're getting close to improved eco, and that's nice. Very nice. And we're going to finish the colony ship and then immediately send it here to the arid world. And we can name it Udir as requested. All right, colony ship. So note that we now are paying a little bit more of our income in ship maintenance because we've got to support that colony ship, which is expensive. So we're immediately going to go on to another colony ship for the ocean planet in the back lines. All right, you go there. Actually, I'm going to send this to the same planet, and we're about to get more scouting reports too, which is cool. Oh, oh, first encounter with the silicoids. They may have already colonized this world. Nope, just a scout. But they probably already had this world scouted. Ooh, wow, a nice planet. Terran 95. And another, okay, so Tundra. This is a large Tundra world. A lot of Tundra planets. All right, well, this is actually our next destination for our next colony ship because this will be in range as soon as this is colonized. We need to get this colony ship up there ASAP. Like, we have this colony ship headed here, and then as soon as that settles, this one can push on to that world. Hopefully the silicoids are not that close, but they probably have already scouted this world. The question is whether it's in range for them or not. I'm hoping not, but there's really no way to know. Yeah, so as people are saying in chat, the tech tree is variable in this game. Basically, it works like a ladder. There's like different rungs, and you have to research one tech in each rung to move on to the next rung. But there's usually 2, 3, or 4 techs in each rung, and some of them will be there and some of them won't be there. There's guaranteed to be at least one tech in each rung of the ladder, but it's not guaranteed what will be there after that. So it's a pretty neat system. All right, let's send, so forbearance is almost maxed out in pop, but notice how slowly the pop grows when it's almost maxed, like we didn't grow any pop there. Let's send, so it's 8 away from maxing out. Let's send 6, because it'll probably grow a pop point or 2. So we'll send 6 back there, and that'll help max out forbearance. Meanwhile, improved eco is now in the percentages, and that's a really key tech. It'll help our waste cleanup tech, and it will also make the colony ships cheaper too. Licky has been contributing a lot, so we have 18% odds to discover that tech between turns. Yeah, so these are still out of range at present, but that colony ship's only 2 turns away, and then we'll be able to send scouts forward. Oh, so this is the Tundra planet we just scouted. Another unarmed scout. Your homeward can spawn in a nebula. Okay, so this is lucky. We got the tech to pop at only 18% odds. Yeah, and do I want to reduce the equality ratio? Yes, I do. So we definitely want controlled tundra. This is a really key tech, and I'm going to keep pushing tech. Ooh, another nice planet down there. Well, the humans have probably scouted that already. So how far away is that world? 7. But if we settle, like if we can settle these planets, we can probably pull it into range. Because like we could work around that way. I don't know if I'll be able to hold this world though. This is more dicey to get that planet right there. I'm like, I need to focus on both the northeast corner and the southeast corner. This is probably further than we'll manage to make it. But we'll at least hold the scout there for right now. I'm kind of expecting to be chased off by AIs. The humans have almost certainly already scouted that world. Anyway, but so this is really nice. So like, look at the ecology slider. Look at how much less we have to spend on waste cleanup now. And we actually did grow some pops. So now note that we're at 105. So this will max out the planet here as soon as that lands. And I will probably finish maxing out forbearance with its factories as soon as this is done. The other thing to look at is look at the fleet screen. The colony ships they should have gotten cheaper as a result of that. Maybe it just hasn't updated yet. If I were to design a colony ship, yeah, note that the colony ship, it actually only costs 466 now. If I were to design a new colony ship, so that's much cheaper. It probably just hasn't updated yet. Anyway, so 1 turn there. 1 turn for this colony ship, and then we're going to send it up here. So looking good. Also note that Licky now is up to 84 research points per turn. And we're going to keep the focus on planetology because we really need controlled tundra right now. Hi, Crownar. Thanks for popping in. We have 2 tundra planets, and basically tundra unlocks this corner, this like southeast corner of the map. So pretty crucial to get that tech. So here's our chance to settle this world. I'm glad that we managed to make it here. This may bring us in contact with an AI race, by the way. So the request was to name it Udir. So we will do that. Looks like, oh, there we go. I actually thought the game was pausing to, and note that we can now see the Silicoid Scout retreating. You can see what happens within 3 parsecs of your planets. So that's why that ship like suddenly appears. All right, so now we head up there to that spot. And the colony ship's only takes 2 turns. All right, well, since it only takes 2 turns to finish this, maybe we should finish it. Or I could do a turn of factory production. I'll do the factories. It's not as crucial to get up to Nyarl. Also, I'm going to need to send some pop to these worlds. Actually, no. It's going to take a while to get up there. Let's send the colony ship in. Let's finish the colony ship, get it in motion. Then I can look to max these out. So Licky will supply some pop for Udir. Udir probably needs about 10 pop to get started. That's fine to send from here. We only have 12 factories, so the population is outstripped factories by a large margin. So let's send... yeah, 10 million should be good. Now we have to dial down the slider a little bit. The Keatser. Push the scout. Yes, and now I need to send the scouts further. Thank you, Rayson. All right, so we've got a couple scouts here. So we actually have a scout incoming to cover Udir. Not that I think there's anything in immediate range. All right, no. Clicking on buttons is hard. Okay, so that world's in range. And that world's in range. So is that one. The nebula isn't... Actually, the nebula's in range, too. Don't have enough scouts. And that's in range as well. Need more scouts. Why didn't I build more scouts? So forbearance, you would think would be the logical, but if I try to build scouts, look, I build like 40 scouts, which I do not want to do. Let's build the colony ship, then I can squeeze out a couple more scouts for over there. I should have built a few more in the early game. I underbuilt them, and that was a mistake. That said, some of the planets over here are probably already controlled by the AI, so I will likely be chased off some of these. And I definitely want to leave a scout parked over Udir. I don't want to just leave that planet undefended. Now, an unarmed scout is not much of a defense, but it can chase away another unarmed scout. So there's that. There is that. All right. 10 turns to get there. All right. See, we're already making a little progress on controlled tundra. And this is going to go here. So after this colony ship is built and sent off, I will have forbearance finish maxing itself out, and then probably it'll take over research, and then we'll just push research because we want to get controlled tundra as fast as possible. How's the Diplo? So the Diplo in this game is pretty interesting. They're not as crazy as in Civ 3. There are a lot of ways to hurt relations. There aren't a lot of ways to help them. The biggest thing to keep in mind in this game's diplomacy is you can improve relations by attacking a race that an AI does not like. So basically the best way to make friends is to make enemies with someone that they also hate. But there are AIs who are erratic and they will declare war over dice rolls. But you know that they will declare war over dice rolls. So it actually makes for a pretty good system. Like they tell you up front, you can't rely on this AI. They are erratic. So forbearance. It doesn't need a lot of factories left. So we'll be able to max it in 2 turns, and then we'll push research hard for that tundra tech. Dogpile the merchants. There's no merchants in this game. Oh, and there are merchants in this game. I'm sorry. I thought there weren't for some reason. So we should start getting some scouting reports soon. All right, so note that it now says max. So we only need 4 more factories to max this out. So let's do this. Measure out 40. So the factories cost 10 BC. at this stage of the game. They become cheaper with more techs. So now we can put the rest into tech. So now we're up to 226 tech, and we should be able to fill up the light bulbs pretty quickly on that Tundra tech. And then we'll see how fast we can push into this corner. Oh, and the other thing is I did want to get some more scouts. Note that I can get 9 scouts without even spending anything. That should be a good amount. We can push some into the corners of the map. That was leftover excess production. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. It's 220 to max out. Whoops. Not a huge deal, but I miscounted. I forgot. This should max it out. That's fine. Okay, so let's start sending those scouts out. So let's get one for Licky. Let's send a couple directly to the planets that are in range that I can't reach yet. I don't suppose those stars down there are in range, right? No, didn't think so. Let's send maybe 4 of these down into the southeast corner, just for future scouting. And I'll send another one, I guess, over here, just for use later on. Yep, you guys caught it in chat, but I miscounted. Anyway, so yeah, we filled up like half of that light bulb for planetology. We're also close to this arriving. This is a very good world. By the way, so feel free to suggest a name for this world. We're going to need a name for Tau Cygni and for the artifacts planet in the northeast. Oh, Merchants. Oh, ho, ho, ho. So we've arrived, and there's a colony ship here. So we will be able to chase off this colony ship unless it's armed, which it is not. Okay, not surprisingly, this is a dead planet. So this was not the good fortune to arrive the same turn as a colony ship. They were probably already here, had scouted the world, but they couldn't settle because it was a dead world, and they were unable to settle. This is nice, though. Ocean planet. Oh, wait, no. That might have been the ocean planet that we just chased them off of. No, it was the ocean world. Wow. So we, by virtue of getting this scout here, we got there in the nick of time. We have chased the Mercians away from a world that they would have colonized otherwise. That's bad luck for them and good luck for us. We literally got here on the same turn. Otherwise, they settled this planet. I thought it was the dead world, but nope. Nope, we got here in the nick of time. So this is nice. I actually don't think we're going to colonize this world because it's just a little far away from what I can realistically reach. But any delay in them setting up shop here is to our advantage. Yeah, as Jack just said in the chat, delaying them is always useful. That's good news. It's also just generally good news that there's no AI. Also, there's no AI at this star. If there was an AI at this star, they would have colonized this earlier. So there's no AI here. They're probably over here. But they 100% would have colonized that. No, they can't colonize as long as the scout is parked there. Now, this is an unarmed scout with 4 hit points, so all they need to do is bring a ship that has some kind of weapons on it, and they will be able to chase me away. I expect that to happen almost immediately, but until they do that, they cannot settle the planet. They will eventually arm their colony ships, too. So looking good there. We're about 3/4 of the way done with our Tundra research. All right, so like every turn that the AI is not chasing us off is good. No, that's not a declaration of war. So one of the cool things about Master of Orion is you can have conflicts with other AIs without being at war with them. Like the game just kind of accepts that there's going to be minor brush wars breaking out like constantly. And that's one of the really cool things about the game. All right, so we're now in the percentages. That's really nice. We've quietly made good progress on the improved engines tech too. I am going to have to open up the rest of the research fields after this. But for now, I think we're in good shape. So Udir has only grown 4 pop in the turn since it was colonized, but here comes 10. And that'll take it up to 14, and it'll be in pretty good shape after that. No, none of the planets are named Teddy. So we had a request to name the artifacts world Laima, and then I don't think we've had a suggestion for this world yet. So Teddy works for me there, because we're going to get to colonize 2 worlds this turn. Another dead world. By the way, if you don't say yes here, then you have to wait until the next turn to colonize. So Tal Sigmi becomes Teddy. There is a ship incoming. Hopefully it's just an unarmed scout. And then here's our artifacts world. These are some large planets, by the way. These are very high quality planets. Except that one, except Udir, because it's only max 55. These others are all really good, though. And Lima for our Backlines Ocean World. Alright, so this is nice. 5 planets. So hopefully... Alright, this is an unarmed colony ship, thank goodness. Now, though, our range is extended further. So do we have any... Where do I have extra scouts? Like this ship? No. You stay there. I don't think... Was this in range? Alright, so there is a ship headed there. Like, does this put this in range? No, that's too far away. Okay. I think that Teddy will be out of range for anything but scouts, so I'm not going to send armed ships to defend it. I don't think the AI can reach this with anything but a scout right now. So I think that's safe for the moment. That said, now this is a jewel of a planet, so we want to get some pop-up here to help it develop. So I'm going to send Forbearance, send some pop-up there. And the best way to do that is to just regrow the pop. So I can send 10 pop-up there and then regrow it instantly. Now, it does take all my spending for the turn to do that, but there we go. Let me just check something. All right. So it'll regrow all 10 million pop in between turns. Like I said, it does cost me my income for that turn. And Lima is going to, or Licky is going to supply Lima with population. So we want this. This is also size 100. That's size 95. Geez. So I'm going to have Licky start building I was thinking about when I wanted Licky to do factories. When I'm going to do that is after the after this Tundra Tech comes in, because the Tundra Tech's really important. After that, I'm going to have it start building factories, I think. Although it might have to carry the research load a little bit longer because Forbearance is going to be building colony ships. So we want to get this started. We can probably send about 18 pop up there, because that would still keep this at 40 pop. Let's do that. And I want this size 100 world to get off to a good start. So this is going to slow down Licky's development, but it's going to do a lot for Lima. And I want that world to get off to a good start. If an AI sends armed ships, no. So the way it works is they have to land troops, as Window Dump said. There's a ground battle system we haven't seen. And that's where the Bulrathi's advantage is. All right, so here's another colony ship from the Clacons. Like I said, I expect the AI will colonize this world eventually, but I'm just delaying them. All right, still haven't armed their colony ship yet. All right, so Forbearance is remaxed after sending off 10 pop. And something I wouldn't typically do, but since we're basically just waiting for a tech to pop here, I'm going to send another 10 pop because this is a critical frontline world and I want it to develop quickly. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to send another 10 pop and regrow it instantly. It's expensive to do this. It does take up my entire income for a turn at my core planet, but it will help the planet. It will help Teddy develop a lot faster by getting 20 pop in as soon as these transports get there. It's going to take them a little while to arrive, but like I said, it will speed up the planet's development by a lot. Just as 18 million going to Lime. I wouldn't do this except these planets are so high quality. I want them to get off and running quickly. And like we're still, so we don't have great odds to discover that tech yet, but we're working towards it. And like, hey, 12% odds are not zero. So here they are scouting our planet. Teddy has 2 population right now. Unarmed scouts, so they'll back off. Mercians, Mercians are going to get this planet. This will put us in contact with Kitty. So they have brought an actual ship. Now the only chance is if they have missiles, it is possible that they could fire their missiles and run out. But they don't have missiles because they would have fired them by now. So we'll just retreat to save our ship. Oh, nice. We got the pop at 10%, or around 10%. All right. So we have all of the options at the next level. Enhanced Eco, which would be more waste cleanup. Terraforming plus 30 or controlled toxic. Controlled toxic would open up those dead planets for colonization. I think this is the way to go because there's multiple dead planets and there's also an inferno world near us. So this would open up like 3 more planets. The trade-off is we could get terraforming plus 30, but terraforming techs tend to be relatively easy to trade for. So I'm going to go controlled toxic and hope to trade for maybe plus 20 or plus 30. This is a very expensive tech. We will not discover this anytime soon. So I'm going to pull research off planetology. But this timing worked out really well. I was able to get population seeded for Teddy. And, oh, we're still not in contact with Kitty. We don't have the range. But note that this now means that these planets are potentially could come under attack because they're now definitely in range for military ships. So that's something we have to be concerned about. Like I said, we wanted to delay them. And we did manage to get 2 or 3 extra turns of delay, which is nice. So hopefully the merchants will leave us alone. Hopefully. But I probably will need to build some ships in the near future because those planets aren't ready to build missile bases yet. All right, so colony. We need to build, we can now build tundra colony ships. So like, look, now all these worlds are, now the tundra worlds can be colonized. So let's start doing that. I'm going to design a separate tundra ship because I don't need to build, so like I can build a standard colony base or a tundra colony base. And note that the tundra ship is more expensive. So I call, well, if I can spell colony U to let me know this is the tundra ship. So forbearance needs to get to work on these. Or we could build 27 scouts. So note the colony is 3 turns. Tundra colony also 3 turns, fortunately, even though it's a more expensive ship design. It's about 20% more expensive, 25% more expensive because it has to contain the larger tundra base. So we're going to grab this Willow first. Willow is not a very good planet, but Willow will open the way to Hercules and Zardan and Thrax. We're probably going to have to settle in this arc, like I said. And then the scouts are going to need to get ready to push forward after that. We haven't seen much activity over here, so there's probably not an AI right here. Maybe one down here. It's also possible this cluster down here is uncolonized at the moment, in which case we'd have to get a real move on. 27 scouts, yeah. Not really anywhere for them to go, though. Okay. So we need to let's equalize out the spending fields. I want to open the other tech fields right now, see what I've got, and I'll decide how to allocate tech spending once I see what's there. These are, by the way, these are kind of the weakest turns in the game because like you are still trying to build up your worlds, which are very weak, while the AI has some strong fleets. Look at all those dead planets up there. Yeah. So there's actually 4 worlds that would be opened up by controlled toxic. All of these dead planets could be ours. I don't think we're going to get much past this corner of the map, but if we could get what's here, like everything you can see here, if I could get that, I'd be in a very strong position heading into the mid-game. It's mostly, can I claim these and then can I defend them? Because the AI will come a-calling at some point. Like Teddy and Udyr are going to need some defenses, but I also need to build colony ships, and it's arguably more important just to push colony ships right now. Even if the Mercians do scout these planets, even if they like do chase off my scouts, they'd still have to send Pop to invade. And if there's one thing the Bulrathi are good at, it's defending against ground invasions. Okay, so this is a poor computer tech. This is the cheapest computer tech in the game. ECM Jammer does very little. I guess it does provide some minor missile defense. This is nice, another waste cleanup tech. Might be nice to get a factory. Might be nice to get a cheaper factories, but there's improved industrial techs at every tech level, so we'll probably look for II-8 at the next tech's rung. This is a nice one to get, though, more waste cleanup. Class 2 deflectors, you never have a choice for the first force field. And so here we've got some interesting choices. So we get to see more rungs of the ladder because we already have a tech at, we already have Hyper-Vs, so we get to see the first two rungs of the ladder here. Hand lasers and Gatling laser and Hyper-V are the first 3 weapon techs. And then in the second tier, we have neutron pellet gun and fusion bomb. I am going to want fusion bomb, but hand lasers is ridiculously cheap. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and research it, just because that will make me even better in ground combat. Where's Guardian? So we haven't found Orion yet. Orion is not on any of the planets we've scouted, so we don't know where that is. The Bulrathi are poor in computers. It is one of their biggest weaknesses. Poor in computer tech. All right, so our transports are about to arrive at Laima. Laima is going to need about 25 to 30 turns to get built up, just building factories and maxing out in pop. Licky is well positioned to supply population to these other planets down here. Like, no, it's just growing 2 to 3 pop each turn. And like, poor little Willow down here, it'll probably send, I don't know, 7 pop to Willow or something like that to get it started. I would send more, but I want to be able to send pop to Hercules and these other planets down here. So 2 turns on the colony ship. And these pop transports are still slowly headed towards Teddy. It'll be nice to get faster engines at some point. As far as sliders, we don't really need computers. I want to emphasize construction slightly. So I'm going to put a few more ticks in that. Planetology, actually propulsion would be pretty nice to have right now, though I don't really want to pull anything from... Let's pull a little from weapons there. And as much as I'd like to build factories at Licky for right now, I think it needs to keep supplying research. It's the only planet that can realistically do research right now. So the fact that I've been getting doubled research at this planet, which has been doing almost all of my research, is really, really nice. Right now, we're just trying to keep our fingers crossed that the AI doesn't come forward with any ships. I am most concerned up here at Teddy and Udir, because they're weakish planets. They just need time. Like, that's literally all I need is time. The fact that I'm not in contact with the Mercians does help, though. They are more likely to be aggressive towards me once we're in contact. All right, so there's our first Tundra colony ship. And it needs to go here. And so we'll immediately start building the next one, because by the time it arrives... Wow, 4 turns to get there? That doesn't look like it's 4 parsecs away. But by the time that this is done... Although I don't need a colony Tundra ship, though, because the next one I'm going to need to go to is this planet here. So we can just build a normal colony ship here. Note that it is cheaper. We can build this and just start heading it in that direction, because it'll be in range by the time it can get... But like, by the time this is settled, this will then be in range, and we can go from there. So just keep building those. Keep cranking those colony ships. Propulsion will be nice because nuclear engines means that our ships can move 2 parsecs per turn instead of 1 per turn. Speeds up. It's a very nice tech. Also, note that this ultra cheap hand lasers is already like halfway done, even though we've invested like nothing in it. Yeah, there's only one victory condition in this game. It's win the council vote. You can win I guess you can technically kill everyone, but that's also just another way of winning the council vote. Can we name a planet Maximinus? Who is over 2.5 meters tall? That seems unlikely that he was that tall. Because that's like 8 feet tall. 2.5 meters. Okay, so we've run into another planet for the first time. We're actually going to get a scout on this world. Because they only have an undefended... they only have an unarmed scout. Tundra. Okay, so whoever this is has already discovered Tundra tech as well. But that's nice. Now it's the silicoids. Okay. I was like, whoever this is has already gotten the ability to settle Tundra environments. It's like, oh, it's the silicoids. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, it's still nice to get a scout on one of their worlds. So that's out of range right now. So let's move here, and we'll be able to move to scout that planet later on. Notoriously inaccurate source. Yeah, the victory condition in this game is great because every council vote is a chance to win and a chance to lose the game. It's really cool. You can win the game early, you can win the game late. You can win the game if you can ally with everybody else. You can win the game without a lot of population, or you can ultimately take over enough of the galaxy to just vote yourself the winner, which is great. I love the fact that in Civ 4 you could just vote yourself the winner in the UN if you had enough population, and then in Beyond the Sword they're like, no, you can't do that. It was like, why? If I have 65% of the world's population, the game is over. Like, the game is over at that point. You're not losing from that position. Just get the game over with. It's stupid to make people jump through more hoops. I'm a big advocate for lowering the domination limit in the Civ games. Like, it shouldn't be set at like 70% land area. If you have 50% of the world's land area, the game's over. You've won. Just get it over with. Move to a new game. Anyway, one of the one of the things that's easy to miss. So one of the cool things about the council is if you have 1/3 of the population in the galaxy, you can never lose the game. You can block anyone else from winning in the council. Conversely, though, if an AI civ has 1/3 of the population, you can also never win the game because they'll also always block you from winning. So yeah, kind of the way the dynamic, it creates some interesting dynamics. All right, so we got another colony ship. Let's go to a tundra ship now. So this ship cannot move directly over there, but what it can do is it can move here, and then it can hop over to that spot. Actually, it might be better just to go to Licky, more direct shot, because that's only 3 turns, and then we can reroute it from there. We'll do that. I should have just used the relocate command. I should have relocated that to Licky. Oh well. We can relocate the next tundra ship here to Willow, and then Zardan won't be in range when this is settled, I don't think, because that's more than 4 parsecs, but it will be in range once Hercules is settled. So like I said, we're working our way around. You can still lose to a faster Korean spaceship. No. Faster Korean spaceship. All right, so far the AIs have not been pushing in against Teddy or Udir, and I will be able to see them coming from. I do get to see 3 parsecs away, even with the base scanner. All right, over here, so we can let's wait another turn or two, and then we'll terraform Udir. Usually, when it gets a little over half, if you can do it in 2 turns, it's usually worthwhile to do it. Teddy is just getting started, but now that it's at 27 pop, so yeah, there we go, plus 11. It should be growing pretty quickly now. Lima is also doing great. It's growing 2 pop a turn, already up to 2 factories a turn. Like I said, it's going to need about 20 to 25 more turns to max out, and then we'll be in business. So again, we're just trying to grab as much land as possible. Oh, did we find Fieras? Yes, we did. We did find Fieras. So this is the Merchant homeworld over here. It already has 17 missile bases. Needless to say, we are retreating from this battle. All right. So here's Willow. We had the request for Maximinus. I think that's the way that it was spelled. Let me make sure I have that spelling correct. Yep. Okay. Got it. All right. So now we'll be able to send some scouts forward, presumably. So this is, yeah, see, this is 5 parsecs, so we can't settle directly there, but we will be able to settle by going around the horn, as we're doing here. Unfortunately, yeah, I should have relocated to Licky. Then if I had relocated this ship to Licky like I should have, it would already be there, and it would be able to move directly to Hercules. So that's a wasted turn, unfortunately. But I can relocate this to Maximinus. Save a turn there. And then we'll be at Maximinus, able to move directly to Zardan once this is settled. Now we need to get Thrax too. Yep. Need to get both of these, but this has to be settled first, because when I settle this planet is probably still going to be 4 parsecs away. I'll build the colony ship for it and have it ready to go, but I expect that I will probably have to settle this before I can get here, because I think this is 5 parsecs range. I think. What's the one that puts the little boxes on the map? There is a command that puts Control M, Shift M, something like that. E. I can't remember. There's a way you can put a little actually I had it in one of my old reports. Maybe someone in chat knows, but there's a way you can put a little parsec indicator on the map. That's true. You can test by sending a scout. That's also a good way to test. Also a good way to check. Yep, 5 parsecs. So like I said, I suspect I have to settle this planet before I can settle this one. Okay, but now we can send scouts forward. So where do I have extra scouts? I know I sent some down here. It must be here. Yep, 5 scouts. Okay, cool. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's an AI in this corner of the map, which is really nice. Because all the encounters we're seeing are on that. Oh, that's still not in range. Okay. That said, let's send more here because it's closer to the front lines. Control G. Nope, it's not Control G. The scout test works, though. Oh, we need to send some pop down there to maximize. Okay, so we've got 59 pop here. What's it? It's only, see, the hostile worlds, so hostile worlds grow at half speed, so they really need help from other worlds to get started. Let's send, this is almost, yeah, let's send 10. That'll get it, because that'll get it up to 12 out of 30, and that'll help it out. Hand lasers is in the percentages. Nice. How are these worlds doing? Teddy coming along nicely. All right, Udyr's ready to terraform. It's heading out of the middle of the bell curve on population. Like it's over half. So we'll help it out by terraforming it. So again, it costs 25 BC to terraform, or 50 to terraform. So we're going to do it in two 25 BC increments. Now the big thing is I have to remember that it's terraforming. And this was the Mercian homeworld. So this scout is heading back to Teddy, which is fine. So yeah, they started in the nebula. That sucks for them. We got to remember that that's where Kitty started, right here. That is definitely a target long term. Shields don't function in nebulas, so it's pretty crummy to have your homeworld in a nebula. Also, the movement times through the nebula get really funky. Bad luck for them. I don't feel too sorry for them. The Mercians are very difficult to get along with. This planet could also terraform, but there's not much point because it's not at the halfway point. So like, you want to terraform when you get like 60 out of 100 roughly, because like you're heading out of the middle point of the bell curve. Right now we're still only just entering the middle point of the bell curve, so there's no reason to terraform that planet yet. Licky I would have terraformed a long time ago, but it's always had something more important to do every turn. The key thing I need to do this turn is to send this colony ship forward. All right, 5 turns. That's a little unfortunate. So our Tundra ship is here. That'll move forward to Zardan as soon as it gets settled. And then I need to do one more ship, but it doesn't have to be Tundra. A normal colony ship is just fine for Thrax. And then I will have Forbearance go under research, and then Licky can finally start developing itself after that. Alt-M is the command. Oh, okay. I checked Shift-M and Control-M. Just so you can see what this looks like, because there it is. So these are 5 parsec boxes. So if you want to see distances, you can use this. So like that's 5 parsecs. That does appear to be 5 parsecs as well. And we checked it with the Scout. I don't usually play the game with the boxes on because they're annoying, but it can be handy at some points in time. Yeah, so right now we're just waiting for this to arrive at Hercules as far as our colonizing efforts go. We are going to get a Scout report next turn, which is cool though. And as soon as that arrives, this planet might come in range. We'll see. We're also going to get hand lasers shortly. I'll go on to Fusion Bomb after hand lasers. I already know where I'm heading there. So that's 1 turn away, and Udyr needs to stop terraforming. It just finished its terraforming, because like otherwise you're very wastefully growing 1 population point, which is pointless. So now it's done terraforming, and it's up to 3 factories per turn. Looking good, making good progress. Obviously it's nowhere close to being maxed out. 9 turns for a defensive base. I want to get it close to maxed out before I start building defensive bases. Obviously, if it looks like it's coming under attack, I might have to. Force fields are also pretty important. Force fields I actually probably should dial up the spending on force fields a little bit, because Class 2 deflectors, 1 missile base with Class 2 deflectors can't be hurt by lasers, and a lot of the AI ships are packing lasers in the early game. We will be able to go hardcore onto research soon, though. Like, once Forbearance is done building these colony ships, it can go under research, and Licky will not take too long to max out because it has all that population. And of course, all these other worlds will start contributing. Oh, Mechlars. We haven't seen the Mechlars yet. Hopefully this is an unarmed scout. It is. Oh, another Tundra world. Okay, well that's also colonizable. For us, at least. If not for them. So maybe the reason why we're not seeing a lot of action down here is the Meklar started down here, who are notoriously slow to expand. Maybe that's why. Yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted to grab ground lasers is or hand lasers is it's a super cheap tech. Yeah, I'm not going to build I'm not going to build a Tundra colony ship for this spot just yet. Let's because by the time we get down there, we could probably finish propulsion and design a colony ship that can move 2 parsecs. So it's probably not worth it to design a ship this turn. All right. So 3 turns until that arrives, and then we can immediately move on to this spot. Zarden. So, Forbearance will take over research, and now Licky can finally start building some more factories for itself. Like, if you think its research production is good now, that's with no factories. And we should also terraform. Never mind, we should terraform it first. So we need to do this. It'll take 2 turns to terraform. Don't be fooled by it saying 50 research points. Remember, that gets doubled for this planet. So it'll take 2 turns to terraform, but we can finally terraform it now. Teddy is almost at half. Lima is developing nicely. 19 factories, but again, due to the way that the math works, it'll build more and more each turn. Nowhere close to being maxed out yet. Like, Lima could already do 72 research points. Yes, the population on Licky is smarter than the average bear. So there's our hand lasers, making us even better at ground attacks. And as I said, we're going to Fusion Bomb. This is not useful right now, but it'll be great when we go on the offensive. If you don't have any bombs, it's very hard to attack the AI's missile bases. But we're going to reshift our spending slightly. I want to tick a little bit more in force fields. And propulsion I'm going to start dialing down slightly, because I'm about to get that tech, and I probably won't need a ton of propulsion after that. I am going to need some more advanced range, because range 4 is a little bit low. But for right now, this should be okay for the moment. I'm just trying to keep an eye on some of these worlds to see when I want to terraform them. Teddy is getting close. It's not quite there yet. What else are we close to discovering? So we're going to get ECM1. That's kind of pointless right now. It'll be helpful if we have to fight AI missiles later. Propulsion will be nice. I can design a faster ship. And I can also design laser ships if I need to get some extra defense. I think I'm okay right now, though. I usually avoid building ships unless I have to. Right now, I think we're okay. Like, Udyr could crash build a missile base in a couple turns. And if it's strong enough to get through a missile base, then I probably am not strong enough to push it away with little popgun fighters either. All right, yeah, I think we're okay for right now. So the Tundra colony ship's here, but of course it can't move on, not until we settle that world. It's been interesting working with range 4. It's kind of rare to be this far into the game with only range 4. All right, still nothing there. So there's ECM1. Well, I guess we have no choice. Wow, look how expensive this tech is. 5,000 RP for this. It's something we're going to need, though. We are going to need to increase our battle computers later on. That said, though, note that what we're missing, no scanner tech and no Improve Robotics 3. So no Improve Robotics tech. We're missing the first level of Improve Robotics. That's a bit of a painful shortfall. Maybe we'll be able to trade for a better scanner tech, too. The AI highly values robotics techs, though, so that's an expensive one. Yeah, bears are bad with computers. It's true. So we've now finished terraforming Licky. So let's go back to pure factory building. So now the max is pop 80. I'm gonna have to hit Licky unfortunately here, though. I'm going to hit it for population because I need to send some to Hercules. Probably send 12 pop from Licky. Poor Licky has been asked to sacrifice a lot for the Empire thus far. And Teddy, again, is just about ready to terraform. Maybe 2 or 3 turns away. How close is Udyr to maxing out? So Udyr maxes out at 110 factories, and it is 28. I guess it's not that close. Still a ways away. And in terms of tech, we are almost done with propulsion. And construction is close. That'll be nice. A little bit more waste cleanup. Hoping that Duralloy will be available. I would really like to get either Duralloy for better armor or improved industrial aid at the next level. Hopefully I can get one of those two. Name Hercules Pooh. Okay. I'm okay with that. And we had a request to name Thrax to Baloo. Hopefully we will hopefully we'll be the first ones to colonize Thrax. I think we will be. All right. No AI movement is always a good thing. Not my emperor. All these bear puns. Jungle bear for a jungle world. The council will probably be meeting relatively soon too. All right. So as predicted, this is still 5 parsecs, unfortunately. But what I can do is I can send both of these colony ships here, and then it'll be a faster hop from there over to there. And I'm going to cancel this reloc. I usually leave the relocation things on the map so I won't forget that there are ships there. To help me be, like, basically just be a reminder that, hey, you have ships heading here. So now that I have moved those ships, I will leave it out of the way. Yeah, so propulsion's in the percentages. The reason why I'm not building a Tundra colony for this spot is I will just redesign the Tundra colony ship with 2 movement. And it'll actually be faster just to move it down there with 2 movement than move it with 1 movement point. First colony ship fleet, yeah. It's rare for me to do that, move 2 colony ships to the same planet, but it actually does make sense here because this is only 3 parsecs. If I just have it sit here and wait, it's 5 parsecs. So it's going out of the way to be sure, but it does make some sense. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to move, like I said, I think 12 down to that spot because that'll get it to roughly 15 pop, and that's enough for it to get started. Poor Licky, though. Yeah, these ships, again, are close to terraforming. I don't quite want to pull the trigger yet. That looks good there. So yeah, I mean, we're in good shape. I need to check to see if any more planets are in range now. I'm happy at how the AI has been leaving me alone. There's this big gulf of dead space here definitely helps, that there's like nothing here. These planets being hostile helps. Have we made any progress toward... No, we still haven't made any progress towards toxic. It is a very expensive tech. It is a 9,000 research point tech. So I mean, we have made progress. It just hasn't been enough to show up on the light bulb yet. We won't get there until we finish colonizing this current batch of planets and start kicking research into full gear. Like, once these artifact planets max out, we'll be up to, I don't know, well over 1,000 research points per turn. This planet right here, Lima in the backlines alone. So if we fully max out the planet, it would be size 220, or 110 with 220 factories. Yeah, it would be 110 pop, 220 factories. So that's like 300 base production, a little right around that, a little bit short of that. It'd be like 300 base production. We'd lose a little bit to factories, but that's roughly 500 research points just from this planet alone, not even counting Licky and Forbearance. So yeah, we'll be well over 1,000 research points once these planets max out. Having massive artifacts planet. I mean, like, Teddy's a size 95 base planet too. These are really good worlds. Like, really, really strong. Just need time to build them up. The hope is always that the AI will just leave you alone, and so far they're doing that. It helps that I'm not in contact. I know I said that before. Hate to repeat myself, but like, it does help a lot that they're not. And we haven't had a council vote yet either. I was trying to look at the map here. I guess a lot of the AI, so there's so like, where are the AIs? The Mercians are here. The Silicoids, we've seen the humans and the Clacons as well. I suspect that they might both be here, or maybe one of them's here. I think the Meklar are down here at one of these 2 planets, and the Meklar just are doing their thing where they don't expand very quickly. Like, I suspect that's what's going on. That's my guess. For whatever reason, the Clacons are not expanding. Maybe they got caught up in an early war or something like that. Very possible. But hey, I'll take it. 7, yeah, still 7 years. How many more factories? All right, it still needs a lot of factories here. I'm going to have to send some pop here in the relatively near future. When this planet gets close to maxing, because like, this planet will be, the factories are going to exceed the population. how many more turns? It's like, how long does it take to get pop from there to there? 4 turns? Okay. I'm going to need to send some pop there. I will probably send 10 pop in about 2 or 3 turns to help Udyr max out, because otherwise the factories will outstrip the population since it's a smaller world. So this is just straight Master of Orion. I have not applied Kyrub's patch in this one. Basically, tech research is on hold while we develop our planets. Once they're all developed, we'll kick research into high gear. This is, again, standard for the way I play Master of Orion. You can be more aggressive. I don't see any real reason to be aggressive. Oh, I didn't even check to see if any more planets were in range. They are not, though. That one's still out of range. Okay. Still can't send the scouts forward. 3 turns to move here. Still waiting on that. The AI is definitely better in Kyrub's patch than it is in this one. Yeah, we're still good for a couple more turns there. But I do want to send pop from Forbearance to Udyr to max it out. All right, I think Teddy's ready to terraform. It's over the halfway point. It can terraform in a single turn. So let's do it. Then we don't have to worry about it afterwards. Lima too. It can terraform in 1 turn, and it's over the halfway point. So we'll do these together. That'll help me not forget about them. All right, there we go. And Licky actually has like some factories now. Still not close to being maxed out because I have it. I keep hitting it up for pop. And I'm gonna do it again too when we need when we settle this planet. Licky's gonna provide pop again. Yeah, the AI is very quiet in this game. The less action you see from them in the early game, the better. Like, if they just leave you alone, it makes the game so much easier. Most of my losses on Impossible come from the AI jumping on me early in the game and forcing me into destructive wars I don't want to fight, slowing development down. Like, the fact that I'm being able to econ instead of having to waste production on ships and missile bases is nice. We just kind of are like, they're staying on this side of the big gap and I'm staying on my side and we're just leaving each other alone, and it's awesome. I love it. Like, it's a quiet game. It doesn't make for as exciting of a game to watch, but it's significantly increasing the chance I'll be able to win this. Yeah, the game does keep track of years. It puts it in a weird spot. It puts it on this race comparison screen, so we're 58 turns into the game right now. Kyrub's patch puts it on the map screen as well, which makes way more sense, honestly. Okay, 2 turns until that arrives. We also have a lot of techs that are getting ready to pop here. Construction, waste cleanup will be nice. Force fields, this will help our missile bases. They'll be immune to lasers. And propulsion will be nice for faster ships. Also can help in combat quite a bit too. All right, nice. Industrial waste cleanup. All right, what do we have? And class 2 deflectors too. All right, well, we have no choice, so we're missing Duralloy, which is not great. That would be nice to try to trade for, but we do need to get cheaper factories. That will help a lot. This will cut factory costs by 20%, make it much cheaper to build factories. Very necessary when we get improved industrial techs, or robotic control techs, excuse me. So that's not bad. We were slightly unlucky here. There are 2 force field techs at the 3rd rung. Personal deflector in class 3. Personal deflector is better because going from class 2 to class 3 deflectors doesn't do a whole lot. But getting personal deflector for plus 10 ground combat is very nice. So that's a little bit unlucky. And personal deflector is also cheaper. Gets you to the 3rd rung faster. And that's the one that has Planetary Shield 5, which is a very good tech. Hopefully that'll be available. Okay, let me see if I can shift spending around. So force fields I'm going to dial down slightly. Put a little bit more back in planetology. Computers we shouldn't neglect too much. Construction can be dialed down slightly. Let's put a little bit more in planetology and weapons. I know I'm just mostly tinkering around the edges here, but it does add up over time. All right, oh cool. So like now we have a little bit more waste cleanup. Tech doesn't make a huge difference, but it does matter a bit on these planets. Look how little we're spending on waste cleanup now with double waste cleanup techs early on. Very nice. We're wasting very little. Can put that straight into factories. By the way, this game costs like $5 on GOG, goodoldgames.com. So if you find this interesting, like this game is super cheap. Just buy it. I think you actually get Master of Orion 2 with it as well. Yeah, so I think that's it. I don't see anything else to do on this. Oh, I was going to send... Is this a good time to send Pop back to Udir? It might be. Yeah, because this planet's this is about to max out. It's not growing Pop very quickly. Let's do that. Because it's going to take 4 turns to get there. So we're going to send 10 million Pop. Here we go. And it means we're not going to do much research this turn, but that's okay. Also, we're going to need... What was the name for this planet? I know Thrax, we had the suggestion for Blue. I don't know if we had a suggestion for Zardan on this planet. I personally think this game's better than Master of Orion 2. There are a lot of people who like Master of Orion 2. Alright, so we have the choice for sublight drives. To move the tree forward, we can get movement of 3, or we can get range 7. So since we have warp 2, I don't think we need warp 3. Let's go for the range tech, and we'll never need another range tech after this. Grizzly. I like Grizzly. Also, welcome, Joe Tunborn. Grizzly. Name of planet Harambe. The Tundra Grizzly's a good name. Right, Balthazar. So you send Pop when it's starting and when it finishes. Oh, and this we get our first council meeting. Okay. The council meets, I believe it's when it's either 2/3 or 3/4 of the stars are colonized. I think it's 3/4. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, you basically population grows when it's a normal distribution. It grows when it's like close to half. It grows quickly. At the low end and at the high end, it grows slowly. So you try to help out planets when they're getting started and to cap them off when they're almost done. All right, so we are nominated. We're up against the Silicoids. So this is a chance to win the game and a chance to lose the game. It is no chance for us to win. No one's going to vote for us unless they're at war with the Silicoids. All right, that's not good. Already voted for the Silicoids. Okay. He only needs 4 more votes to win the game here. They abstain. Klakons abstain. Meklar's abstain. Okay. So, wait, can I vote for him? I think I can. Hold on. I actually don't have my phone on me. Because that would be 13 out of 20. That's not enough to win, right? Let me just do the math here real quick. 13 out of 20. Because you want to vote for your opponent if you can. It boosts relations enormously if you vote for them. What's 13 out of 20? Is 65. Okay, 65 is good. They need 2/3 to win. So yeah, I can vote for him. If they all hadn't abstained, I would lose the game. It is true. It's a little unfortunate the Mercians voted for them. Yeah, if all the AIs voted against me, the game would be over. That said, the AIs are not all going to vote against me on the first council. That's not going to happen. Yeah, you could also, if they all voted against the Silicoids, I could win here too. All right, so no 2/3 majority. You always want to vote for your opponent if you can. Also, we're at 4. We were at 4 out of 20. So we're not that close to a veto block. We would need more population to do that. The only time the only time you tend to be in trouble for an early council vote loss is if you're up against the humans, and it doesn't usually happen on the first vote, but you can lose pretty quickly if you're up against the humans, just because their advantage is they get good diplomacy with everyone. That's their racial perk. All right, so we've settled Grizzly. First thing we got to do is send that Tundra colony ship down here. So we're going to do that. Then we've got another Tundra world to colonize. So here's how we do that. So we're going to scrap the normal colony, Tundra colony ship, and watch, we're going to design a new one. Same thing, except we're going to put nuclear engines. This increases the cost by 6 BC, but it gives it warp 2, so it'll move 2 parsecs instead of 1. Or no, colony U for Tundra and 2. I tend to put this is an old thing I learned from Syrian, put the warp rating of the ship in the name so you are always, you never get confused about the speed of your ships. All right, so we're going to do that. Because forbearance has shifted over to colony building, we need to go back to research. And Licky is the one to... Yeah, but look, Licky, now instead of 70-ish research points, now it's 144 because it's got those factories. U2 pun intended? No, not a U2 pun intended. And this will be going here. So we'll be sending it straight down. But it'll move it 2 parsecs a turn instead of 1. Okay, so we want to send some pop to Grizzly. It's a tundra world, so it'll grow super slowly unless we send it some pop. So Licky gets to be the fun planet to do this again. And 12, let's send 12. That would put it at about 15 out of 50. Poor Licky. Done a good job. It just, so the population that was going to Pooh has arrived, and now Pooh will be in better shape. Also, now we will be able to send scouts forward, at least a little bit. That's in range now. We're going to need more scouts again, aren't we? That's out of range. How about down here? Oh, that is in range now. Okay. I do want to squeeze out some more scouts. Trying to think if there's a world that can do that around here. Licky, well, Licky is the obvious choice, although it's doing research. Because we do want to get scouts down to this cluster here. Got some extra ships up here. So it doesn't look like there's going to be room up here. But like Teddy's got an extra scout. Can start moving some of these ships. Well, no, these ships will be in range. These planets will be in range eventually too. Or I guess that's pointless. Do I need the scout ones, the original scouts? Let's see where they're stationed. There's one in Udir, so that's not needed. Excuse me. Because I'd like to scrap... Oh, there... Okay, one in Udir and one... I literally just saw the other one. Okay, no, I don't need them. I can scrap them. You only get 6 slots in this game. So we bid farewell to them. All right, let's go to a small hole here. Oh, gotta clear that out. So we're gonna put reserve fuel tanks on so that they can move, and then we're gonna put nuclear engines on. So I would call this Scout 2, but of course I already have Scout 2 as a name. Do this to distinguish them. All right. And I want to, like I said, I want to squeeze a couple of these out somewhere. Max and minus can actually do them. This will be slowing down this, but I can get a pair of them out of here. Slow this colony down, but I want to have a couple more of them here to scout this cluster, because this whole cluster is going to be in range shortly. This one's already in range, and these will be in range as soon as that planet's discovered. So poor little Max and minus is going to contribute. Yeah, Scout 2.2 works. Because Licky's on research, and Forbearance is doing the actual colony ship. I think I'm going to have Max Minus just do 2 more. 2 more. I don't think I need 3 more. Scout 2 and Scout 2.2. So yeah, this is a good planet to use as a staging ground right now. So you know it only takes 4 turns to get there because we have the faster engines, which is really nice. All right, getting close to Baloo being settled here. Licky's still holding the tech load for right now. Swap that back shortly. Look at Lima. Up to 66. So factories have already equalized population. We're going to have to send more pop up there. Forbearance will probably dump some pop into Lima because otherwise factories are outrun population to a major extent. So note that Udir, similar thing. We're at 52 pop. I have 10 pop coming in. And that'll keep the, because like you can remember, you can only, each population point can only work 2 factories. So right now the 52 pop can work 104 factories, but like the factories will actually outstrip the population pretty quickly unless we have more pop coming in, which we do there. So Forbearance is probably going to send pop to Teddy and Laima here to make sure that they don't get stuck sitting around with more factories than the people can actually work, which is likely to happen. And I have to send it early because it takes so long for the pop to get up there. Anyway, as you can see, moving population around is pretty key to playing this game. Oh. Clack-ons. No! They brought a ship just before we're about to settle it. No! Maybe they have missiles? Oh, they do have missiles. It is possible that these could miss. Oh, they also have lasers. Never mind. Ah, no! They also had lasers. Womp womp. This brings us into contact for the first time. So, Blue, sadly, was not claimed by us. 1 turn away from the colony ship arriving, too. And that's out of range, unfortunately. No! Why did they go there and not... Oh, because it's... I see. I see why they went there. Because it wasn't a hostile world. They couldn't settle at the tundra... Ah. You know, I would have sent ships to defend that spot, but I hadn't seen any Clack-on ships in that area whatsoever, so... Alright, so they've cut us off. Unfortunately, if we get this, we also get this. But now we've come up short. That's unfortunate. We were like 1 turn away from landing. Yeah, so the AI uses cheese alliances in the early game. They sign alliances with other AIs. Colden is right here, though. Somewhat surprised. So they must not have controlled Tundra. They would have settled this a long time ago. So yeah, they have obviously signed an alliance with someone to get over here. To over here somehow. Let's see what their status is. So they're allied with the silicoids and the humans. They're erratic, which means we will not be able to... So erratic civs, or leaders, I guess civs is not the right word. Erratic leaders will randomly declare war at different points in time. So status report, we're actually ahead of them in population, which is shocking for this stage of the game. We're also competitive on production, and we have more planets. Okay, no. So if I invade them, we would immediately be at war. That is, I do not want to be in a hot war with the Clack-ons at this stage of the game. This does mean that Grizzly is in a bit of is somewhat contested. The fact that it's a tundra planet could help, though. They obviously don't have the tech to settle on a tundra world. This means, though, that we're likely not going to be able to push down into this corner of the map, which is admittedly further than I expected to get. Like I said, I would have been happy to get just these planets. Losing them is a bit of a blow, but if we can get the Dead World and the Inferno, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. That would get me up to 12, which is a lot for the land grab phase. So I can't, and my planets are very high quality. If you took Thrax, wouldn't you lose contact? That's true, but they would still hate me. They would be guaranteed to vote against me in the council. I tend to be a defensive player. I do not like being aggressive in the early game because time is very much on the side of the human player in this game. So I tend to play defensively through the early stages of the game. Not everyone does. Also, we don't need this colony ship, so for the moment we will hold off on finishing that. You can go back to industry. So we should try to assign them to a trade deal just to improve relations. They are erratic, so we can't count on them. Okay, so that's good. Let's see if we can get anything. All right, there's nothing there we really want. No, I'm not giving them waste cleanup techs. In this game, if you talk to them too much, they get angry and stop and will break off contact. Also, we don't need more scouts at this point. We actually ended up with 3, even though I didn't ask it to build that many. Still, we'll send them down here. We can still scout out this corner of the map. Although I guess no, we won't be able to because we're not going to have range. Well, we'll get more range eventually. But yeah, we won't be able to push much further. Oh, can I design it? Am I at the point where I can design a colony ship with reserve fuel tanks on it? Let me check that. Because this is out of range, but I may be able to put reserve fuel tanks on a large hull. I'm not that far away. So I would need, no, I would need 445 space. I only have 341 space. I could put it on a huge hull, but that would be way too expensive. That ship would cost 1860. That would be triple the cost, and that's way too much. So we'll hold off for the time being. But I think if we can get another construction, if we could get improved industrial 8, we'd be able to put reserve fuel tanks on that. Or alternately, though, we could just discover control toxic. That would also let us do, or what was I going to say? Or we could get range 7. That would also work. But none of these techs are close to popping, and they won't be for some time. Oh, we have to adjust our spending because when you sign a trade deal, it has a negative effect on your income before when you first start out. So we're going to have to adjust spending at these worlds. Make sure none of them are in waste. A number of them are. All right, that works. And if you're humans, right, if you're humans, they are profitable basically immediately. So note the good timing here, 10 pop coming in right as the planet is about to be at 55 pop. So that timing worked well. And that way, yeah, we won't have to worry about it. I guess that was slightly premature. Oh, well. I will need to send pop up to Teddy, but I think that's would be too premature to do it right now. I grew 4 population points. Nice. Yeah, I don't think either of these are quite ready. Lima's, actually, it might be better just to grow the population at these worlds themselves rather than send it from the home world. So right now, we're just looking to play defensively, max out all our planets. I'm wondering if I should send some popgun fighters to Grizzly, though, just as a form of defense. I think that might be prudent to do that. All right, so just so I have a little bit of strength. How much would it cost to put the computer on here? Nah, that's not worth it. Increase the cost by like 33%. All right. Oops, I went past it. Just do 1 round of that and relocate them down here. It's just so we have some kind of ships, so we're not totally defenseless. Oh, so we found we found the human homeworld. This is Sol. Human homeworld. It's already maxed out. It doesn't have any ships to defend it, but it has missile bases, of course. All right, so the humans are down there. No wonder they're in contact with the... Oh, whoops, I actually don't think I had any planet doing research last turn, which is not good because you lose some of your stored up research when that happens. All right, so yeah, we'll just get some kind of units. So this is the human homeworld here, right here. We're still not in contact with them because we only have range 4, and I guess they don't have a very good range tech either. But yeah, that's the human homeworld right there. It's a little surprised. I'm actually kind of shocked I managed to get as far as I did. Like the fact that this wasn't colonized sooner, with the Klakons here and the humans here, the fact that they didn't get to this world is kind of shocking. They obviously didn't have tundra tech, so they weren't able to make the leap over there, but still. The one nice thing is this is a very isolated Klakon world. Just relocate to here, which is not controlled by anyone else. This is pretty isolated from the rest of their territory, so it could be a place to hit them later on if we find ourselves at war with them. All right, this world also is just about ready to terraform. Like I said, I prefer to do it over 2 turns, and it's not quite there yet. If we were to build a missile base, 4 turns. Okay, so I could build that in 2 turns if I had to by using reserve spending, so that's convenient. Just to be able to get one base up on the world. Waiting for like Lima in particular to max out. Boy, it does take a while to grow 110 pop points, doesn't it? And 220 factories. Still going to take a while there. So like right now we're just waiting for our planets to max out, get stronger. Licky will be the next, I don't know. Licky or Udir will be the next one to max out. I guess Licky still has a way to go because we hit it for population so many times. We will be able to keep an eye on Thrax though. It's within range of our scanners. Oh, the human. Oh, this is interesting. So the humans just brought ships to the planet that. So the humans just landed over the Bulrathi, the Klakon world. That was the ship that was going to colonize Thrax. So they are allied with the humans, so I guess they won't attack them. That also explains how the humans are able to get up here. Well, I guess they have a... I guess their homeworld's right here, so it's probably in range for them. Yeah, we need a lot of techs. We're not going to get much tech right now because we're not researching. We're building factories. But, like, these lasers could the lasers chase off these ships? Maybe. I don't know. Depend on what's on those ships, which I don't know. So Udir is maxed in pop. And now it just needs... I don't know how many factories. Not a ton. Like 15, well, no, not like 30-ish more factories. Because it's at 95 and it can build up to 130. So like 3 turns away from finishing. And that's pretty good. Line was already up to 10 factories a turn. It could double our research right now. 216 research points. It already produces as much research as the capital. Or homeworld, I guess, to be more accurate. This not being Civ. Boy, this planet is such an eyesore. Having that in, like... It feels like it's in the middle of our territory. We're going to get a scouting report on this world next turn. See if it's already colonized or not. Oh, no, it's another dead world. Nice. Another place we could colonize. This corner feels unoccupied. It's probably hostile planets. I hate having that tundra place. So yeah, we once we get improved range tech, we'll be able to get down because it's only 6 parsecs away. When we get range 7, which admittedly we're not close to right now, when we get range 7, if it's still uncolonized, we'll be able to claim it. There's actually a lot of dead planets right now. It's a shame we didn't have improved dead. It's a shame we didn't have dead or inferno. I definitely would have picked dead tech over toxic, which is the one I grabbed, because it's so much cheaper. Would have been because like there's 4 different dead planets and an inferno world, so that's 5 more planets we could potentially get. We also need range to get over there though. But yeah, just finishing up, maxing out these worlds, and then they'll be able to go on to research. 117 factories. Silicoids might get them, that's true. And, yeah, if we see more silicoid activity, we should consider trying to defend some of these worlds. None of them are rich, though. It does suck that the silicoids are in the game. So, like, there's the question, do you want to build ships to chase away potential poachers on these worlds? Or alternately, do you just want to push tech so you get the actual techs you need faster? That's only a size 10 planet. I usually opt to just push research faster. Meklar. We'll see if they have the tech to settle here. Yes, you can eventually... it's an armed colony ship, unfortunately. Let's see if it has missiles. If it does, we might be able to get it to retreat. Or it could kill our ship. Looks like we're in contact with the Meklars now. Xenophobes, looks like. Never mind. So the Meklar, as I suspected, are down here. So this is their home world. And they have settled the question of who is going to get that world by grabbing it. So they obviously have controlled dead. They could make a play for this world, actually. They'd be able to push forward. So we were hoping to get down there, but the AI has indeed reacted. They have gotten more advanced tech and been able to push there. We probably should look to try to hold them off here, if possible. Like build enough popgun fighters to chase them off that world. That's probably worth doing. I don't think these worlds are at threat from them. When do you start espionage? Good question. Part of the problem is my computer tech level is so low. It'd be hard even to get a spy to meet them. Are they also erratic like they are? No, they're xenophobes, as I suspected. All right. Let's sign them up for trade. Yeah, 17. I mean, popgun fighters aren't going to do anything. That's the other argument, too. 17 larges. 50-ish small ships are not going to do a darn thing against 17 larges. Best thing is probably to sign them up for trade and hope that we can get something decent out of it. You have no technology which interests us. Bulrathi espionage is sending in several million spies at once. Unfortunately, by doing that, we've taken a big hit to our income by signing them to that trade agreement. But I would much prefer to stay on good terms with them. I really don't want them coming after me here. Because their fleets are scary. All right. So early game's over at this point. We're in contact with the AIs. Hopefully we can stay at peace with them. Klakons being erratic, though, means that definitely no guarantees in that regard. At least we've gotten a decent amount of time here. How many factories does it need? Like 3? Yeah, 3 factories. Let's get at least 1 missile base up. How many more to build after that is an open question, but let's get at least 1 up. Oh yeah, and I've got to go around because that's going to put a lot of these planets into waste. You can cycle through your planets with F2 and F3. All right. Yeah, this area seems like a potent location for conflict. So how many planets do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8's not bad. Again, if I can settle these hostile worlds, I'll feel pretty good. Because like the AIs, you can see 5 planets for the Meklars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for the Klakons. And they're not allied with anyone, so that's nice. They're down to just allied with this. They're no longer allied with the humans, so there's a decent chance that they're going to clash over Thrax. Like, the humans are not allied anymore, so that means that they will probably send population to try to invade and capture that world. Right now, like I said, we're kind of in a weak spot because we're just building up our worlds. Like, Udir's the only one other than the capital that's maxed. Licky's at 80 factories. Lima probably, yeah, Lima's 130 factories. It's about to have factories outstrip population. I'm probably just gonna have to have it grow population. So I don't think it's worthwhile to send pop from Forbearance to Lima at this point. I will just build factories until they're maxed and then grow the population that's missing after that, whatever doesn't happen naturally. Controlled dead would be huge. Unfortunately, we're having to go up to controlled toxic. Dead was not in the tree. All right. Yeah, so let's have you build that missile base. So you have at least 1 base. Teddy should be getting close on its factories too. Well, I guess it still needs to get up to 210, but like it's building 12 per turn, so that's only like 6 or 7 more turns of factory building. Same thing, I'll probably have to grow some pop at the end to get there. Maximinus terraformed halfway. This is a small, weakish planet, and Pooh is actually going to be a pretty good world too. It's getting there. Again, needs more time to develop. It's too bad I don't have any rich worlds. I could feed the planetary reserve if I did. Yep, here comes a series of population transports into Thrax. So the Klakons sent population transports. Looks like the humans lost a warship somehow. Maybe they sent one somewhere else. That Klakon world will build up quickly with their ability to stand up pop. That's their specialty, is they develop very quickly. This planet will be able to terraform soonish. All right, Udir's about to finish its first base. And then I'll go over to research for a bit, because I'm not actively at war with anyone. How close are we to the next council? So we're only 6 turns away from a council vote, too. They're allied with the Sullla. They're back to being allied with the humans again. It would be helpful if I could break that alliance somehow. Just because I don't really want them voting for either of those races. Wish I had better scanners, too. All right, so Udir finished its missile base. We'll send it to research for now. Lima. So Lima's already had factories exceed population. That's okay, though. Like I said, we can grow the remaining pop. Let's see. Maximinus is done terraforming. Nice. So our research will start to tick up. We definitely do need to improve our research. Although I guess there's, yeah, the biggest thing, we should probably shift a little bit towards planetology. That's the most important tech at the moment. I'm just going to shift 1 tick in every field towards planetology. Once the artifacts worlds are maxed, weapons is already low. Once the artifacts world are maxed, we'll be able to get that controlled toxic pretty quickly. Like Licky, if it weren't building factories, it would be 200 points. It only needs, what, 50? No, 60-ish more factories there, and it's building 11%. So we're close to maxing out these worlds. This world here, at 300, yeah, that would double our research, but we're continuing to push ahead. Let me, let's see. So they're not allied with anyone. Let me see if I can get them to declare war on someone, just out of curiosity. The AI is too willing to do this. That's one of their weaknesses. Just like that, he's now at war with the Meklar. Okay. And note that that canceled his alliances. That's why I did that. Now he's not allied. That's a little bit cheesy. We tended to frown on doing that. What we used to call spectator wars at Realms Beyond. But this is not a game being played under Realms Beyond. So, oh, look at this. Humans are invading with 55 colony. Yeah, that easy. Yep. Like I said, the AI is a little too willing to do that. Our rule was you can ask someone to ally with you if you're at war, but you can't ask them to fight if you're not at war. Erratic bugs, yeah. So here we go. We have. I can actually see how many factories they have. I didn't realize that. Okay, they have 31 factories so far. So there's 55 human transports landing, and there's 46 defending pop. There's no ships here to defend. So we'll see who wins. The humans may actually succeed. That's fairly close. It's going to depend on what ground technology they have. I don't actually know what ground techs each side have. Pooh should go ahead and terraform right now because it's over the halfway point on population size. Let's check in at Lima. So Lima still needs to build. It's not going to max out on factories this turn. It has exceeded. The factories have actually outstripped the pop now. So we will build pop. We will build the factories and then we'll grow the remaining population. Yeah, you can get them to fight. It's a little, like I said, it's questionable from a balance standpoint. Arguably, it's one of the weaknesses of how the AI is programmed. With them being at war, hopefully that dead planet is not going to be the focus of the Meklars. It may not even be in range, honestly, for them. So they're at war with the Klakons. Actually, the Meklar have a lot of planets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a lot of planets for a Meklar. Runaway Meklar is like one of the worst things you can get. Let's see. the human invasion was human invasion was not successful. They didn't even kill any pop. Looks like a Klakon fleet showed up and chased some of them away, so that did not end up working. Yeah, hopefully this planet's out of range for them. Hard to say, but hopefully it's out of range. Oh, apparently we've touched off World War I. They're now at war with the Silicoids, humans, and Klakons. They're back to being allied with the Silicoids and humans. That actually could be bad if they're now locked up tightly with the Silicoids and humans. Oh well. AI war. Once the AI start warring, they usually stay at war for like the remainder of the game. So, well, we're about to have a council vote shortly. So we only need 11 more factories here. Let's measure that out. So that would be 220 RP to build those factories. And then the rest we're going to put into growing pop. This should max out. And one more turn to build pop, and then we're good. How about Teddy? This is just about maxed out too. A little bit further away. A little bit further. How about Licky? Licky's also just about done. It only needs 40 more factories. Like, don't mind us. We're just going to stay in the corner. You guys fight amongst yourselves. Leave us alone. All right, so as predicted, Lima maxes factories. Now we're going to grow pop. And it'll be fully maxed out after this. So spending to grow pop is kind of wasteful. But at the same token, you don't want to have factories just sit there being unworked. I like to have the planet maxed out. And then that way it has all its resources ready for future turns. Like, there is an argument, don't do this. Just let them trickle factories and pop and like take advantage of natural population growth. That is the most efficient way to play the game. The downside, though, is then if you get yourself caught in a war and you still have a bunch of planets that are like only 80% maxed out, you can't shift all your resources like into what you need to do right now. I accept inefficiency in terms of like losing out of a turn's worth of research here in exchange for, hey, if I'm at war, my planet's max and I can devote 100% of my resources towards responding to that threat. So that's the way I see. That's the way I see it. And yeah, maxing out an artifacts world, not the worst thing to do. So we need 18 more factories. That's not going to finish this turn, but it'll be maxed out next turn, and then we'll grow the remaining pop. Similarly, we need 30 more factories here, and that's not going to be maxed either. Like, we could grow some pop at Forbearance and move it there, but I think it's okay. If you're suddenly at war is kind of a concern, yeah. So they're still at war with the two of these, and we got 2 turns until the next council vote. We will pull the vote of the Mechlars, so I think we'll be okay. I don't think we'll lose the game at this council vote. Oh, I think Pooh needs to stop terraforming. I think I still had it on terraforming. It's a little bit less. Yeah, there we go. So Teddy is maxed out factories. I actually didn't think it was going to max out factories. And there we go. And we'll finish growing that pop. That'll max it out on Lima's maxed. Oh, it was 160. Okay. So now we'll have it. So look, all these planets are like maxing together. There we go. And Lima is just done. So Lima 442. Nice. That's a lot of research. I'm not going to build a base because that's in the... Yeah, now we're up to 904. So let's push this. Let's get controlled toxic and colonize those worlds. Rather than build pop gun fighters to defend them, let's just push research as fast as possible and get those planets into the fold. This one in particular, because it's out and exposed. These two. And we'll stand them up with defenses. All right, so Pooh has indeed finished terraforming. How's Grizzly doing down here? Grizzly could probably use some support from the rest of the Empire. Like I said, I don't have a rich world to feed the reserve. But like I could transfer more pop into these worlds. Grizzly's pretty exposed. Although I guess all these worlds are technically exposed. I'm kind of hoping that the Klakons are engaged with the Mechlar at the moment and will leave us alone. That's the hope anyway. That's why I'm not building a lot of defenses. Kind of hoping that they've got their hands full. with another enemy right there. All right, so we're gonna have a council vote here. We have the, yeah, wow, the Meklar have like no population at all. Look at that fleet strength. I'm a little surprised I even register on the bar graphs at this point because I've built like nothing in terms of ships. All right, let's see what happens here. Yeah, I seem to be getting left alone, which is great news. All right, council vote time. We're nominated against the Silicoids. So they're going to vote for the Silicoids because they're in an alliance. They're going to vote for themselves. Humans, wow, the humans are weak. They only have one vote. Jeez. Clacons abstain. Oh, that's good. So this is big. The Clacons abstaining is really nice. I get the 2 votes from the Meklars. 6 votes. I'm pretty sure I can't vote for them because 18, I think, puts them over the limit. Let me just double check on that because I would like to vote for them if I can. Where's the calculator? I normally have my phone and I can just do the calculation real quick, but I don't have it. So 18 over 26 is, yeah, 69. So no, can't. Have to abstain. You never vote for yourself, by the way. Yeah, we give them 69%. Those alliances the Silicoids have are a bother. So this is the game's copyright protection. The GOG version, you can just click right through it. All right, so Teddy does need to build at least 1 missile base for defense because it's over by the front lines. Licky is probably okay to do research. I'm okay to push research. Like, I don't have any bases on Forbearance or Licky, but the reason I'm doing that is because I want to push research and I want to get this toxic tech ASAP. Like, that's my goal right now. Push through this and get this. So at 1,100 beakers or RP, we should be able to land that pretty quickly. And then let's get these 4 worlds into the fold, and then we can go from there. Yeah, what happened to the humans? They're very, oh, I guess they have their home. Apparently they just have their home world, and that's it, and nothing else. That appears to be all they have. Hopefully trade. All right, so their alliances seem to have been broken. They're at war with the Meklar, but they're no longer in an alliance with anyone else. Yeah, well, this fleet down here is definitely, well, actually, that's not that worrisome. That's just pop gun fighters. Yeah, so it looks like we're okay based on what we can see. The fact that we don't have better sensors is a little bit worrying. This improved industrial tech is coming in after we've already finished researching after we finish building all our factories, so that's kind of pointless. Yeah, so far we're just being left alone. No, we're definitely not finishing today. This is a... I actually can't stick around for that long today. I'm hoping just to play until I can resolve getting these worlds, hopefully. All right, so that's good. Teddy is almost finished its defensive base. It's a defensive base, of course. Oh yeah, construction already in the percentages. Dial that down, dial up planetology even more. We're really emphasizing it. I'm going to even put another click in it from each field. It's that important right now. We really want that tech. At least our trade income is slowly ticking up too. And let me just see if there's any... I should probably start to get some spying reports too, but I want to wait until after I discover Battle PC3. I'll send out spies once I do that. Because right now my spies would be so pathetic, I doubt they'd even be able to get through for a scouting report. I want to see if I can trade for any... I want to see if there's any techs. There's not really anything here I want. Nope. I'm already researching range 7. I think we to see if he's interested in a non-aggression pact too. Okay, never mind. He's just like insulted. He's obviously ahead in tech. You're always behind in tech on Impossible. If you ever catch up in tech, the game's like you've won it, because you won't be able to catch up unless you know what to do when you're ahead in tech. What's this? This could be bad. Oh, never mind. We've met another AI. We met the kitties. This will give us a better shape of the diplomacy. Kitty is typically a weak race, and indeed they're a weak race again, so they could be a fertile target for expansion. They only have 4 planets. Also, everyone tends to hate the Mercians. Well, let's get an audience with them. Also, their diplomacy is terrible with everyone. So they're at war with the Mechlars too. They're allied with the Silicoids. I definitely would. They're Wow, this is strange. They have a diplomat personality. This game, very unusual for the Mercians. They're usually ruthless personality. They're almost never diplomats. Well, let's see what we can do with them. Maybe that's why they're. Let's see if we can sign them up. Oh wow, we can sign up for quite a bit of trade. All right. I would actually like Deep Space Scanner. I will make that trade. It'll help them with their waste cleanup, but I actually do want Deep Space Scanner. Now we can see further away, 5 parsecs. So the default is 3 parsecs away from your colonies. This will get up to 5. It's not a great tech. I don't love helping Kitty. Like that'll help them build, help them with their waste cleanup, help them with their construction tech, but an improved scanner tech is pretty useful. All right, now our trade income goes negative again. I always hate it when that happens. We're actually losing quite a bit, but it will tick up each turn. The reason why you sign those is it does improve relations, and note that it starts at unease with the Mercians, because the Mercians basically hate everybody. All right, that's all. Teddy, you can go over to research for now. All right, yeah, so we're actually making progress here in terms of tech. Come on, controlled toxic. Getting 1,200 beakers per turn right now. I guess I just went through and checked all those, didn't I? It's just who they are. Their personality is... Oh, geez. So hopefully these are laser fighters. If those are laser fighters, a single missile base is enough to stop them. If they're not laser fighters, then it's a lot more dicey. So I'm going to look to terraform this. Okay, so we can terraform Grizzly. We might as well do so. Max or minus is actually pretty close to maxing out. It's not going to be a very strong planet. I'll probably just build a lot of missile bases there for defense, but hey, it's better than the AI having it. Well, a missile base can beat an infinite number of ships if they can't get through its defenses. Lasers can't do anything to a single missile base with class 2 shields. All right. So here's an unusual choice. I could get improved industrial tech 7, but I just got improved industrial 8, so that's not going to do a lot. I could get reduced industrial waste 60%, but that's not going to do a lot either because I have reduced industrial waste 80%. So normally I would not research battle suits, but I think it's the best choice here. It'll add more to the ground combat, more Bulrathi fighting power. And it also is the cheapest. It gets me to the next tech level much faster. It's half the cost of industrial waste 60. So I think this is actually the best choice here, because I already have techs in those other 2 fields, which means they're not going to do a whole lot for me. Oh, hello. Where's this going? I don't know where this fleet's going. It was at Thrax. Okay, it's not headed for me, because look, it's headed off in this direction. I don't think it's headed for me, at least. It doesn't have a colony ship either. Allied now with just the humans. So every turn my trade income ticks up by like 5, something like that. Your trade agreements start out at negative and they eventually go positive. How are we doing on tech? All right, so controlled toxic's almost in the percentages right now, almost. Yeah, but like the ground advantage honestly is pretty minor. It's nice to have, but not really essential. So we need to watch where this ship is going. This turn, it was like just west of Uxmal, and I can watch it on the screen, the in-between screen too. Actually, no, I couldn't because it moved out of sensor range for my ships. I don't think these ships are heading towards me. They're probably going to Spica. It looks like that's where they're going. I don't think they're headed like here to this dead world. The angle wasn't right. All right, anyway. So Grizzly's now terraformed. Pooh is actually getting relatively close to maxing too. It's already at half. Factories have already equaled population. So you know why it's happening faster there? It's because I finished improved industrial tech 8, which means the factories cost 8 BC instead of 10 BC. Noticeably faster. Planetology is now in the percentages, so we're already up to 6% odds to discover this. That's nice. And Maximus is almost done too. Just needs 10 more factories. I am skimping on defenses, and I readily admit that I'm skipping on defenses here. I've got a large ship there. Again, hopefully I am not a target of the Mercians. Trade has pulled relations from uneasy up to neutral, which is nice. Tech is actually not as bad as I thought it might be at this point, probably because I've got those artifacts worlds. Oh, nice. It popped on the very first turn. Wow. Popped at like 5% odds. Oh boy. Alright. So we have a lot of nice stuff. The only options to move the tech tree forward are biotoxin or improved terraforming, plus 40. I don't know if the AI is using the toxic, the death spores. I don't know if they're using them, but like I could go for this, but this will not move the tech tree forward. I don't think I need enhanced eco because I have a lot of waste cleanup techs already. So I think the best option is to go for terraforming plus 40, even though it's insanely expensive at this point. Some of the AIs often go for death spores, but I don't want to research something if I don't know that I need it. So let's dial down the obscene focus on planetology spending. We still want to emphasize it a lot, but not to the same extent. We do need techs in all of the fields. All right, that looks a little bit better. And let's start getting those colony ships out. All right, fleet. So we can scrap this. Now we need a toxic colony ship. Actually, we can probably scrap this colony ship too, because I don't think there's any place I would ever actually use that. Yeah, I don't think that that's... I should have scrapped that a while ago because I've been paying maintenance on it. Yeah, I should have done that a while ago. Okay. All right. So, design. We need to design a colony toxic to... So, special toxic base. Warp 2. And build. All right. So, I'm going to have forbearance, build 1, 3 turns. I'm going to have Udir build 1, 5 years. I'm going to have Teddy build 2. Teddy's going to grab these 2. So on the map, because I don't want my artifacts planets coming off research. That would be silly. Yeah, so I'll colonize this world here, and then this one can go... Actually, this one will go here, and then a second one will go here, and then these 2 planets will grab these 2 worlds here. And let's see if we can lock this down. Forbearance definitely wants to get the dead world first. That one's much more at risk than Inferno. 3 turns, and then like 2 turns worth of movement, probably, to get there. Yeah, the Meklar are definitely getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 worlds is a lot for them. The good news is no AI seems to be running away with the game. The Silicoids probably have the bulk of the planets over here, because I think the humans only have their home world. I don't think they have anything else. Ecotechs do slightly increase the production you get from pop. That's correct. All right, so Maximus is maxed out. Let's finish growing pop. And then it'll build some bases for itself. So note that we did cut into our research. Right now, the only planets on research are the 2 artifacts worlds, but they're still producing 700 research points, which is pretty sweet. All right, so which one of these worlds is better? Teddy can grab this one, and Udir's colony ship can grab this one. Both in range, aren't they? Oh, no, actually, they're not both in range, so we'll have to grab this one first and then that one, because otherwise they're not in range. I still only have range 4, although I'm getting close to range 7. So apparently they just weren't able to break out away from their homeworld. Sometimes that happens, and AI just like gets stuck. Oh, double hit on tech. Nice. We have the class 5 planetary shield. Very nice. And ooh, I think I want scatter packs. That's a recipe for strong defense. Could also get Merculites, but scatter packs are both cheaper and better. This will also advance the tree faster. I don't need ion rifles. I have hand lasers that would add almost nothing. So we'll do this. This will make our missile bases really pack a punch. Scatter pack V plus planetary shield V means you are very safe against attack. Yeah, that's a defensive jackpot. All right, so Maximus is now maxed out, and let's get at least 1 missile base on it. See, they're already up to 3 bases there. They're still allied with the Clacons. They're allied with the Merchants and Humans. Not allied with the Silicoids, though. Silicoids are my council opponent right now. I will feel much better once I have this planet grabbed, because I'll be able to better view what's going on in this area. I really don't want to fight the Meklar. Their fleet is pretty scary. Fortunately, they're at war with everybody, so... and the Clacons are less likely to be involved in a war with me because they're involved in a war with the Meklars. It helps that we actually have semi-decent research. And as soon as this computer tech comes in, boy, my missile bases are going to be pretty strong. Battle Computer 3, so they hit good targeting, Planetary Shield V, and weapons, scatter packs. When all those hit, I'll be pretty safe. But I'll be vulnerable until they all come in. All right, still being left alone in my corner of space. For the moment, at least. Grizzly and Pooh. Pooh's almost done maxing out, too. Helps to have those cheaper factories. All right, so 4 Barons. Yeah, only 2 turns to get there. Nice. And then we build another colony ship for that spot. All right, Teddy, you've got to go for this spot first. And Udir, you relocate here. And then we'll move from Teddy over to there. So Teddy, you stop building ships and go over to tech for now. And then I probably am going to have my frontline bases, frontline worlds build some more bases. What's this? This is probably bad. Is it an event or an AI? Well, and that's what being with erratic leaders can do. They just declare war based on dice rolls. All right, so we're at war now with the Clacons. Just like that. They're not in an alliance with anyone, though, so that's nice. See if we can get Kitty to declare war on them, too. The dice have declared war. It's true. Alright. My friends, the cats. Erratic.text. My friends, the cats. Alright. It's, in a way, it's a shame this didn't happen earlier, because then I could have just looked to invade Thrax. Anyway, so that does mean that now Grizzly is going to need to get a missile base up. So we're going to need to do some defensive spending. So we need to get bases up on these worlds here. Maximinus is already doing that. Let's try to feed the reserve here. I should have enough to... So this, I haven't talked about the planetary reserve. Money that goes in the reserve can be redistributed to your other planets. This is like your only form of rush production, but you can only double a planet's production. That's it. It's the only thing you can do. So I will double its production. And this means it can get a defensive base out in 2 turns. I don't know if they're going to be coming, but I'm going to try. So like this planet is not close to being maxed out, but I'm going to need to get a base out immediately. Meanwhile, Forbearance has still got to grab these colony ships. So the game is on, basically. And the artifacts worlds are going to keep pushing tech because we're going to want a lot of stuff that we're researching right now. Ideally, the artifacts worlds just never stop researching. I don't think we're the main target of the Clacons. So one thing that helps is we're kind of at the corner of the galaxy. One of the things I've noted over years of playing this game is the AI prioritizes attacking targets in the middle of the map. If you're at the edges of the map, they often will just, like, their pathfinding somewhat ignores you. Oh, we need a name for this planet, by the way. We need a name for all these planets, because we've got a couple that are about to arrive. I don't think we want to call this Esper. What do you guys want to name this one? This is one of the dead worlds. Ziost. I don't know what that's a reference to. But if no one else is suggesting, you get to claim it. Picnic. I like Picnic Basket a little bit more. I don't know if that's going to fit. Oh, it does fit. It's a Sith world. Okay. Oh, we've got another one here. We'll name this one Ziost. It's like a blasted inferno world. That fits for... It's an empty basket. All right, so we're up to 10 planets now. Now, these new planets are very small. They're not very strong. Oh, I misspelled Picnic Basket. Oh my god. It's Pinnick Basket. I only just noticed that. Well, there's no way to change it ever. No way ever to change the name at this point. Anyway. All right, so we were relocating this, and then that world can go over there. It wouldn't have fit if it was spelled correctly. Okay. So we need to help out this world a little bit. Let's send some population. I will send some from Forbearance, but I want it to finish the current colony ship. So I'll just send the max. This can only hold 10 million people, so I'll just send the max over there. This also helps because now I get better vision of ships moving around in this area. I still can't see where they're going, though, unfortunately. I can only estimate. You need the next class of scanners for that to be able to see. 37 class. So they're just going to Thrax. They're not invading me. And I also need to do some reserve spending too. I need to feed the reserve so I can help these planets out. Grizzly won't be able to stand up to a sustained attack, but if we can get one missile base, it'll at least be safe against laser fighters. So I want one base on Pooh and Grizzly, and then I'll see what to do after that. Maximinus can just build missile bases for right now. It's very small, so let's get up to at least 5 bases there. Licky still doesn't have one at all, but I'm okay with that. Teddy, you can put some in the reserve, though. It's not ideal, but I want some reserve spending. Small pop worlds can do a lot of things. One of the big things is they get bigger over time. Like, we are researching in planetology, we're researching plus 40. So, like, if we finish this tech, and we're a long way away from finishing it, but someday we'll get there, suddenly that size 10 world's a size 50 world. It's still not good, but, you know, it's a lot better at that point. And then we can apply atmospheric terraforming and Gaia as well. What's this? Is this another? Oh, we are now in contact with the humans. Looks like they had drawn their normal honorable personality from that greeting. All right, so this colony ship goes over here. Oh, and we need to support Picnic Basket. I forgot. We need to send Pop over there. So Udyr, you feed the reserve. Teddy, you send Pop to picnic basket because you're closer. What's the max I can grow in a turn? I can grow about 10 Pop, so let's do that. We'll just send 2 batches of 10 Pop there. There we go. We'll just do that twice. That'll get it up to its max. Help it get started faster. All right, so forbearance finished the colony ship, and now we're going to grab this world. And I think I'm going to stop once I've grabbed all these planets, because it'll be a convenient like stopping point. So you can go back to... Oh no, you need to send Pop. You need to send 8 Pop to Ziost, because you're the only planet that can send it there. Yeah, 8's the most it can send. All right. We'll regrow it instantly, put the rest in tech for this turn. That's growing. So Pooh now has... Since Pooh now has a base, let's finish maxing it out. Then it'll build more bases once it's maxed out. Grizzly also has a base now. I don't know where this is going. Probably to Thrax. Probably. Because Thrax is well below max Pop. Similar thing. Let's go back to maxing this planet out. Although I want to use reserve spending here to do that. We can keep doubling its production each turn. That will max it out much faster. I don't have a rich planet to feed the reserve, unfortunately. But this will help for right now. And artifacts planets continue pumping research. But you can see when we have to divert into defending ourselves, we can't research quite as fast. We're not in a position to go on the offensive. We don't have any kind of weapons to do that with, but someday. I'll feel much safer when force fields and weapons finish, and then I have scatter pack and 8 points of shielding with class 5 shields. Trying to watch the map. Like I don't... Oh, what's this? This is a ship. I don't like the direction that ship's heading in. Someone requested Smokey for the Inferno world. All right, oh, colony ship. Okay. We need to get... So we need to get... this is clearly heading for this planet. So what we need to do is get some fighters to defend it. We can chase that away with these, with our lasers. Let's do that. So this is headed for this planet, but we can chase them away with our pop gun fighters. Grizzly also has some, but I'm hesitant to move away from Grizzly because it's right on the front lines. I'll build them at forbearance. I can also build them at max and minus and maybe relocate them there. I think that's only 2 parsecs away. Well, let's see. This will land and found the colony, and then we can relocate them there, and that'll save a turn's worth of movement. Let's do that. Chase away that colony ship. Udyr's doing some reserve spending. So this is 10 Pop. We need to send another 10 Pop from Teddy over to Picnic Basket. Pinnick Basket. All right. It only says +9 because it's going to obviously regrow a point of Pop naturally. And this is headed for that. Let's check in with the other races. Oh, that's right, with the humans. So they are honorable diplomats. That is their normal personality. They could make for good allies. Note that the default relations with them are relaxed because, yeah, they are very weak. Very, very weak. They could make for a good ally because they're so weak. I'll sign them up to trade, but like it's going to be hard to trade because their economy is so weak. Yeah, they can only support a very small amount. Sign a non-aggression pact because they're so weak. We're not in any danger. I am very happy to trade them stuff. Like they're no danger at all. Duralite would be really nice. Like I don't care about giving them stuff. They're no threat at all. Ooh. Wow, they drive a hard bargain. The thing is, if I give this to them, it might get stolen from them by other players. But by the same token, do I care about that? I'm going to have all these planets settled in a minute. And Controlled Dead's already out there. Duralloy would be really nice. It's plus 50% health for basic. I'll do it. Ugh. Hesitant to do that. It's just because they're so weak, I don't really care if they have that. Duralloy's pretty important for me. Like, right, the Meklar already have Inferno, and the Silicoids are the Silicoids, so I'm not sure it matters that much. This stuff is all weak. I don't really care about this. I will hold on to my... Nah, I'll hold on to my other techs in case they come up with something. Notice that they broke off contact. Eventually, the AI just gets tired of talking to you, so you can't just go on and on forever. Planets. So our income remains negative. All right. I think I had done everything I wanted to do on this turn. How close are we to the next council vote, by the way? 13 turns away. Okay. And so they're at war with everyone. Typical kitties. They're at war with... Okay, the whole galaxy's like at war at this point. So we should be pretty safe in the council because everybody hates everyone now. All right, so we had a request to name this Smokey because it's an Inferno world. Udir rushing chain best. And we're going to get that other planet in the far northwest corner the following turn. Somewhat shockingly, I am not last in fleet strength because I have like 50 laser fighters. Clacons are... Okay, great. The one I'm at war with is #1 in space fleet strength. Not ideal. Pooh has reached its industry maximum. So Pooh needs to grow, finish growing its pop then. So this will max it out, and then we'll have it build bases for itself. And then Teddy has regrown the pop that it's sent to Picnic Basket. So this will basically max out Picnic Basket, and then I'll have Teddy send pop over here to Helos. But for this turn, it can be on research. No sign that the Mercians are heading my way, which is not surprising because they're not at war with me. This is likely only a turn away, though. Hopefully I get... Well, Forbearance can relocate them here. So they'll get there in 2 turns. Hopefully that's enough. Could this get here in 1 turn? Hold on. No, still 2 turns. Okay. If they could get there in 1 turn, then I would build some more fighters. Hopefully it's going to take 2 turns to get there. I can chase them away, but the thing is, they'll be able to send population to invade if they scout the planet. So then they'd be able to send pop to invade. And I can only put 20 million on this world because it's that's the maximum right now. Well, we'll do what we can. So I'm going to start sending. How much can Licky grow in 1 turn? I hate to have it not. Let's see. Can I grow about 7 back in a turn? Because like Forbearance I want to send pop from, and I'll do that next turn, but I need to have it build ships this turn. Don't like having my Artifacts planets do anything other than research if I can avoid it. All right, looks like it can handle 8. I think that's the most it can do, though. How about Grizzly? How close is this to maxing? Not close. Still needs more time. So Grizzly should keep being fed from the planetary reserve. He did just do that at Grizzly and not Pooh, right? Yeah. So the news broadcasts are diplomacy happening, or it could be an event, or it could be someone hitting a planet number. Grizzly has pollution. Grizzly has pollution. Okay. Where is it? I guess I fixed it. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to settle a new planet this turn. Hopefully this is 2 turns away from reaching Smokey. I don't know if it's 1 turn or 2 turns away. Nope. Unfortunately, it got there. So we'll be able to chase this away, but only after it arrives. Oh, maybe it'll retreat, though. Maybe it just has missiles. No. It did just have missiles, but sadly the missiles hit. What name do we want for this one, you guys? This is the last planet we're going to settle for some time. Nottingham? Okay. Oh, Ruxpin's better. I'm sorry, Birmingham. Ruxpin is good. Ruxpin? That's in the far northwest corner. So this means, yeah, so apparently we got the second GNN warning. That's always nice when you're the one triggering that. All right. Pooh has triggered. All right, Pooh needs some bases. I want at least 5 bases there. Grizzly's getting close on the factories. It's definitely getting built faster. All right, let's grow a few pop this turn too. 3 pop. It's gonna have to grow pop anyway. Base size 60, that's not bad for a hostile planet. So unfortunately, now that the colony ship's in orbit, it has been able to scout the world, and that means that the AI will be able to send troops, unfortunately. So we'll stop relocating. So we will chase them away this turn, but their pop transports will definitely be coming. So I've got 8 coming from that world. Let's send 10 from Forbearance. That'll max it out. And I am the Bulrathi, so it'll be hard for them to invade. But maybe I can terraform the planet and get up to 30, and then I can have 30 pop. That would definitely make me feel better about holding it. It's equals. The equals key does that. Equals is max reserve spending for that planet. It's a great question. All right, so Picnic Basket. We're going to assign reserve spending to Picnic Basket too. Udir is currently the one feeding the reserve. So now, same thing. I'm just going to send 10 million pop a turn over to Ruxpin. 5 turns to get there, but looks like I can actually send more. 10, but 10 gets us to like 32 or 33 pop, so that's probably appropriate. Okay. Licky is back on research. That's nice. And we actually are making some progress on research. Like we've almost got propulsion for the extra range. And weapons and force field, which are the ones I most want, are getting there too. Battle suits I don't care about as much. We're up to, okay, we're still at just neutral with these two, but. All right, let's chase these guys away from Smokey. Again, there will be pop transports incoming eventually. So we get to move 2 tiles. Oh, he just ran away instantly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No surprise there. Could be worse, though. If we hadn't already colonized it, they would have built a colony there. And if we invaded and took over their colony, they would have declared war, which I don't want right now. All right. So they will send pop transports probably from Uxmai or from somewhere, and we'll have to try to shoot them down. So this will get the planet to max pop, and then we'll terraform instantly as soon as we get there, and then we'll send more. In fact, I might send more in like even before they get there, just in anticipation of terraforming, transforming the planet. All right, same thing here. Teddy, gonna send another 10 million pop over. Help Ruxpin, Teddy and Ruxpin, wow. Just realized that. Teddy and Ruxpin. So Picnic Basket has just gotten its pop, so now we can start running the reserve here. We definitely want to terraform this planet, but let's get... Yeah, we can't quite terraform it over 2 turns yet. And Grizzly is the other one we were working on. So it only needs 6 more factories. This might be the last turn we need to do reserve spending there. So let's apportion this out. We need 6 factories. Factories cost 8, so 6 times 8 is 48. I'll do one more tick just in case I've miscounted, and everything else can go into a growing pop. So yeah, it should be maxed out in 2 more turns. Yeah, we're with the we're with the bugs, the Clacons, purple on the map right now. This is a place where we can probably attack them, but we will need we'll need, but we're not ready to do that yet. We need to defend what we have first, and then we can look to attack them after that. All right, Zionist, another place where we want to do reserve spinning. The first thing to do here is to terraform it, because right now it only has a max pop of 10, and if we can get it up to a max pop of 20, that would develop the planet way faster. Like, it's just so small right now, it can't do much of anything, so we need to terraform it. All right, next turn. So Grizzly is indeed now maxed out on factories, and now we will do some ecology spending. Teddy just needs to do one more turn of sending pop. Oh, they actually might be willing to talk to us now. Probably not, though. So Pooh's at 3 bases. Max and Minus is at 3 bases. Like I said, if I can get them, I'd like to get them both up to about 5. That's the retreating colony ship. All right, Smokey. There's no point in reserve spending there. So note that we've got it up to pop 13 max now. Accept. And I'll keep terraforming. And Teddy needs to do this one more time over to Ruxpin. So one of the reasons, like I said, one of the reasons why I don't like to play on larger maps is it just increases the micromanagement a lot. Here on a standard size, it's not too bad. Picnic Basket wants to build more factories this turn. We'll be able to terraform it next turn. And then I'll send pop from Teddy to Picnic Basket again. And this is how you can get your colonies to get your colonies off and running much faster in the late game, because you support them from your other worlds. Yeah, this seems good for right now. Look how many techs are in the percentages. It's looking good there. Computers, battle suits, although we don't really need battle suits. I guess it'll help us if the Mechlars land transports. It would help us that way. Although I haven't seen any transports come up here yet. So there's the battle suits. We also have Duralai too. Alright, this is somewhat disappointing. Only chance to move forward is II-6. It won't hurt, but that being the only chance to move forward is not ideal. So Grizzly is maxed out on pop and factories, so now it's going to build bases for the foreseeable future. So far, the Klakons have not made any move to come after me. That's still the ship retreating, the Mechlars. So just, again, transferring reserve to these newer planets, trying to get this planet to terraform. It'll take a little while to get down there, so just send 8 million. By the time you get down there, it'll have terraformed enough that those pops won't get wasted. Smokey. All right, so Smokey is maxed out, or the pop just arrived there. So we're going to terraform this world too. Actually, let's do this in 2 turns. Got to get it up from 20 pop to 30 pop. That makes a big difference. And then next turn, Forbearance can send 10 million to Smokey. So Teddy's good for this turn. You've got the population conga line heading to Ruxpin. Not seeing any sign that the Mercians are trying to come after me. So let's terraform Picnic Basket this turn. I think we can actually do it in 1 turn. Yep, that'll do it in 1 turn. And because of that, Teddy, now you send it over there. And then Teddy will be done supplying these plants. Actually, no, because it'll have to supply Picnic Basket with pop once it terraforms. All right. Yeah, we have a pretty huge bonus to ground combat at the moment. Like, don't mess with our dudes at ground combat. What's this? This is probably bad. Oh. Well, no, not the humans. Not the humans with their 1 planet. Yeah, that's about as not scary. I mean, obviously it would be better to be at peace with them, but whatever. They broke off. So, oh, they're allied. Oh, I see why. They're allied with the Klakons. Klakon's managed to get them into an alliance. That's why. Everybody else is still at war. Might as well dial up the Klakons and see if they're willing to sign peace. I doubt it, but we can try. Kitty might end up as my most reliable ally. It's weird. Nope, wasn't interested. I'm not surprised. Usually you have to hurt them a little bit before they're willing to sign peace. I'm just disappointed because the humans, they might bring the humans down on me as well. Now, one vote from the humans is not likely to make a huge difference in the council, but still, better to avoid it if you can. All right, let's take a look. So Grizzly, building bases. Pooh will be at 5 bases after this. I think I can stop building bases at that point. Maximinus almost at 5. 5 is a purely arbitrary number, but like I said, it's something that I often shoot for. So Zionist is almost done terraforming. These little planets need so little from the reserve. You might as well double them. You might as well spend the 9 credits to double them. It's not going to need... That should finish terraforming it, so we'll do industry then. And then this pop coming in will max it out. Smoky, same thing. I don't think that the Meklar are invading me. I think I would have seen it by now if they were. Same thing here. All right. That actually goes past what I need. And forbearance can finish, polish that off, get it up to max pop. Put the rest in research. So Teddy has sent that to Picnic Basket. Picnic Basket's done terraforming. Yep. So now just use this to double factory construction because we've got 10 pop coming in. And Ruxpin still has not had anything arrive yet, so nothing to do there. Okay. And we're still getting 1100 research, which is still pretty good, despite a lot of our worlds not working on research. Almost time for the next council vote. We'll play until the council vote, and that's a good stopping point there. Oh, never mind. There's... So... Oh, improved space scanner is nice. This is the one you want, because this allows you to see... Not only do you see 7 parsecs away and 2 parsecs from ships, but this is the big one. Enemy destinations and ETA can be accurately determined. You can tell if you're about to get attacked, basically. That's the big scanner tech. The top tier scanner is nice, but it's not really mandatory. All right. How many transports incoming? 47. Now that would be scary, except I'm the Bulrathi, which makes it a lot less scary. We'll also probably shoot down some of them with our laser fighters, but that said, let's not take any risks. Let's get some more laser fighters. So Smoky will be at its max pop of 30. Again, being Bulrathi, that should be enough to stop them. I doubt I can get a base finished before they arrive now. So that's not going to work. But what I can do is build more of those laser fighters and shoot down more of them as they try to arrive. So I will do that, at least for another turn or two.